What's up, y'all? What y'all got going on, gang? Salute to the whole gang, man. Salute to everybody, man. Salute to everybody, gang. Salute to the rewatch gang. Salute to the ones that's finna be in here. Salute to everybody, man. We got a couple things to break down. I didn't go live yesterday. I took kind of a little small break yesterday. Um, yeah, I chilled out yesterday, gang. I just needed a little time to myself yesterday. I just chilled to myself and you know what I'm saying? It seemed like I was YouTube. I think I was burnt out a little bit because I had been working and I think that yesterday I just burnt out, man. And I needed that rest because it felt like I wanted to get on here, but it felt like I was just gonna crash. So I was like, nah, you don't need me getting on here. But salute to y'all, gang. Salute to the rewatch gang too. No cap. I see a lot of y'all be rewatching. I appreciate that too. Appreciate the rewatch. Appreciate the rewatch gang. No cap. I appreciate y'all, gang. No cap from the bottom of my heart, for real. I appreciate the ones that be in here too, watching, not just the rewatch. Yeah, straight up, straight up, straight up. Salute to everybody. W to everybody in the building, though, for real, gang. We're gonna get into some of these topics in a minute. Hold on. I got everything already ready. Yeah, I got everything already ready. It just, hold on. I have to go in and check a couple things before I start. Chicken, bacon, ranch. I had to check sound. I do sound before I start, y'all. When y'all be saying, dang, watch that, but don't never just go ahead and, cause I have to make sure the sound right. I have to make sure everything right. Ain't nothing playing both in the background. Ain't no. I try to make sure two rappers ain't talking at the same time. I have to make sure that too. But at the same time, we good though. We good with it. What's up, Matthew? Salute to that boy Matthew in the building. We got six. We got six already in the mix. Salute to Adriani. Adriani. What's up? What's up, Adriana? Hold on, I don't know them two same accounts. Yo. What's up? What's up? What's up, K? Salute to everybody in the building, man. Turn this bad boy up for me then. What is they talking about? Salute, 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 gang. We finna start right now. We finna start right now. I see y'all climbing in. Yeah. I appreciate all y'all, gang. I appreciate everybody, gang. Where y'all from? Let me know where some of y'all from, gang. We finna start this up. Hold on. I'm just trying to make sure everything will go. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. All right. I'm good. How are you doing? I'm good. Texas, man. Shout out to Texas in the building. Wah. That my little soundboard. Yeah. Until we get us a soundboard. Wah. Straight up. Straight up. Shout out to goddamn Texas in that bit. Yeah. What Sandy said on SpongeBob. I wish I was back in Texas. Okay, yeah. Shout out to Texas though. No cap. Houston, Dallas. Man, I don't know every part from down there, but I'm doing the favorite. I mean, not favorite, but them two popular um, joints people be talking about: Dallas, Houston, Frisco, Fort Worth, um, Oak Cliff. You know what I'm saying? They be saying a lot about Texas. Shout out to Texas, man. What football team do you like, man? I ain't gonna lie to you. I mess with the Chargers, and basketball team is the Celtics. And I don't even watch it. That's what I choose though. I don't even watch sport. I let rap music and this YouTube and shit. I salute gang, bro. Aggies better. I don't know. I don't even know who is that. Nah, I don't even know who Aggies is. Salute gang. Appreciate for coming through. Yeah. Appreciate for coming through. But let's dive into it, gang. We ain't even gonna wait. We're just gonna dive right on into it. We ain't even gonna wait. We ain't even gonna wait. Go and subscribe. Appreciate that. Make sure you hit that like, sub button. You can gift too. You know the gift thing work at the bottom down there. Yeah, yeah, the gift or the super chat. Yeah, 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 all that. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's savage, man. It's savage, man. Stop it, man. Come on. Come on, man. Crank this bit up for me then. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Wait. Wait. Yeah, I told you I can't have two things playing and two different topics playing. It's gonna mess it up. Alright, let's get into this Nolan Well guy. Let's hop into it. I hope everybody had been having a W day. Hope everybody had a W weekend. Y'all know we back. We back with it. It's a new fresh week. Hey, let's have a new week. Let's get geek. Stand up on your feet and say with me. Let me chill. Let me chill. Let's get into it though, gang. Let's get into it. Salute to everybody in the building though, gang.
Following the Nolan Wells investigation, the question is, why did you hear it? Did you hear that he was on the boat, the same boat that Nolan was on? Did you hear that he was part of that CETO call that's out there now? Did you hear that he was part of a conversation that seemed very troubling when you match it to the transcript about what was happening to Nolan Wells maybe on that boat? Because it seems to be going on contemporaneously at the same time as the CETO call. I'm Chris Cuomo. Welcome to Cuomo Crime Time, where we will give you the best insight into Bart's role as recognized by him through his counsel, Russell Latino, who will join us in a moment, but let me set the table. Bart Edmiston has gotten a lot of attention on social media. People believe that he has something to answer for. Did he know the young woman that Nolan Wells may have been with that kept him from going home with his buddies? People don't seem to know her. She wasn't really part of the group, but was she known to Bart Edmiston? Is that why
What are you talking about,
he may
Katie?
have been involved in what happened to Nolan Wells? These are
Is he talking about Katie?
Serious allegations.
Listen, y'all.
My
I never saw this
suggestion
yet.
to you is,
I'm watching it with
after
y'all.
you watch the upcoming interview, I think you will feel very differently.
I just heard about it, and I
Bart
said, "Well, I gotta go
Edmiston.
check
Why?
that out."
Because I do. Because I do. That's why. And at this point, it is safe to say I know as much or more than most people covering this investigation. And if you listen long enough, you will hear what I'm hearing about the official autopsy into Nolan Wells and what it is consistent with, what it is suggestive of. I'll tell you this as a spoiler. It is not definitive. I do not know what happened to Nolan Wells. And do the authorities? Maybe.
What's up, Saint?
Maybe they do. Then why aren't they saying? We will discuss that. There's good reason, maybe bad reason, depending on your opinion. But what happened to Nolan Wells demands something it is not getting enough of. Integrity of time. Do you want the right answers? The answer has to be yes. Otherwise, GTFO. Okay? But if you want the right answers, you cannot rush accuracy. You lose accuracy as you increase pressure of time.
So what he saying?
Do they know more than they are telling you? Absolutely.
So you
are they not telling you for bad reason?
So
not
you,
in my
so
estimation.
you think they holding something back? Buddy. What his name is? Cosmo? Is his name Cosmo or something like that?
Do I want to know more than I know? Of course. Of course.
Cosmo,
but that's a fundamental
whatever his
tension.
name is.
Okay? Due process demands the integrity of the process. I love leaks. I love accurate leaks. Why? Because I want to know more. And I do think it helps me as a watchdog on the system. But presenting to a grand jury, it is a secretive proceeding. It is. Just look it up. And I understand now that this prosecutor in Mississippi does it a little differently than some others do. Why? Well, they don't go to the grand jury with everything. And this prosecutor is more inclusive. So you can't read into it going to the grand jury as if it is suggestive that she believes there may have been a crime. I don't think that that's a fair assumption. We'll explain why in this interview. But I do think at the end of the day, there are real questions about how a young, strong college athlete just died and nobody saw anything, nobody knows anything. That strains credulity. It would shock the conscience. Why? Doesn't make sense. I mean, anybody who's paying attention knows it wasn't 4 people go out, 3 men come back, or 5 go out, 4 come back, whatever the math was. And just happens to be the odd man out, the black guy who doesn't come back. This is not as simple as that. There were hundreds of people where they went. Somebody saw something. Somebody may have seen everything. And the investigators may well know who that person is. But is it Bart Edmiston? Was Bart on that boat helping or hurting? And how do we know? Did Bart know the young lady that may have been with Nolan Wells?
Who think Bart did something to Nolan? Who think Bart did something
Those
to Nolan?
pictures you've seen,
let me know.
Are they accurate? Are they fair? That audio you've heard, is there a basis? What does Bart Edmiston say about that audio? What does he say? Now you will know. Here is his counsel, Russell Latino, who is representing Bart Edmiston Jr., 21 years old, knew Nolan Wells, was part of that group of boats and friends that went from the coast of Mississippi out to Horn Island together. That is all
You're
true.
right. I did hear that.
Nolan Wells.
It said, damn it, Bart.
He was part of that group.
I heard
But
that.
which part? And what happened?
I heard
Here's what
that
we know.
got your back. Let's go. Let's get into it, gang.
Sometimes
Let's
I
get
actually
into it.
have
Let's
no
climb
idea
into
what's
it.
going on until I open Monday.com.
Let's climb into it right quick. Eric Williams said, yeah, I did hear that part
Thank
too.
you for joining us once again.
Damn it,
Just
Bart.
to be clear with the office, the
Here's
audience.
Bart Lawyer, gang.
Russ Latino, real last name, Italian.
Here's the
Latino.
lawyer,
I
gang.
thought it was a marketing ploy.
Let's
He
hear
says
him out.
no,
Let's see what
but
we
it works a lot of different ways. Counsel, thank
Let's
you
go.
for taking the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. All it literally means is somebody that speaks Latin, which, as you well know, originated in Rome. So it's a commoner's last name. Also happens to be the word associated with
I ain't
the
gonna
entire
cap.
ethnic group. So
Off
it's
top,
confusing.
It works a lot of different
they
ways.
say don't judge a book by a cover, but off top, this just look like a goofy. His lawyer already look like a goofy off the top, but I don't know. Don't judge the book by its cover. Let's go.
Let's leave it as that. It's adaptable. So before we go broad, let's go narrow. Is there anything new in terms of your client and your pursuits?
I mean, look, we're monitoring the things that are being said across social media. I think in the next week, there'll be additional activity around some of the accounts that have sort of driven some of the most, what we believe are egregious narratives around my client. I think the reality is that the internet is fickle. And so at some level, as other people insert themselves or other names come out, the internet has a way of rotating between people. And they're assigning different people culpability based on the day.
So, to review, your client was there that day, was not an intimate, was not part of the group that has been framed as being with, framed meaning pictured with Nolan Wells. He was on the boat. He was heard. He was witnessed assisting his buddies who had a problem with water getting into their boat. They called CETO during that call. There is now a version of the call that seems to depict a chaotic scene happening at the same time as the caller's calm kind of pro forma phone call with CETO, which is an assistance service for boaters, about him taking on water. Your client wound up fixing that problem for them. But first, what has been alleged by these accounts that you are monitoring about the involvement of your client?
Yeah, so let me back up and just clarify when we say the boat, that could be confusing to some people. I mean, there were hundreds of boats that were out near Horn Island that day, hundreds of people that were out on Horn Island that day celebrating the 4th of July. It's a big holiday weekend. Within a sort of confederacy of friends, there were 3 boats that went out. One of them was piloted by my client, who piloted the boat out and then back to his house. At no point was Nolan Wells, the young man who tragically lost his life, on my client's boat. Around 4:30 that afternoon.
Okay, do y'all believe him? He's saying his client was not on the boat. He's saying Bart. He said my client was not on the boat.
One of the boats experienced.
So who said who the hell said damn it Bart then? Who said damn it Bart? Who said damn it Bart? We need to get to the bottom of who said damn it Bart. We need to get to the bottom of that. We need to get to the bottom of who said damn it Bart. Yeah, I remember.
With its bilge
Come on now.
Started taking on water.
Oh, what's that real? What's that audio real? What we heard? Come on, y'all help me out in the chat now. Come on now. Don't sit there and act like I'm the only one know what the fuck going on now. Let's go. Turn that bit up for me.
One of the individuals on
Hit
that
the like
boat
button. Smash the like button. Let's go.
He proceeded to give help, in part by getting on the transport.
Hold on. Wait. We're gonna go back a little bit, cause I want to hear if did he say my client was not on the boat. We need to make sure. We need to make sure we heard it right. We don't need to be guessing, gang. Let's go.
For them, but first, what has been alleged by these accounts that you are monitoring about the involvement of your client?
Yeah, so let me back up and just clarify when we say the boat, that could be confusing to some people. I mean, there were hundreds of boats that were out near Horn Island that day, hundreds of people that were out on Horn Island that day celebrating the 4th of July. It's a big holiday weekend. Within a sort of confederacy of friends, there were 3 boats that went out. One of them was piloted by my client, who piloted the boat out and then back to his house. At no point was Nolan Wells, the young man who tragically lost his life, on my client's boat.
Y'all heard what he said? Y'all heard what he just said? He just said it, gang. Ain't like I made it up. I didn't make it up. He just said it. So he's saying Nolan wasn't on Bart. He wasn't even around Bart. He wasn't on the boat. He just said it, gang. He just said that, gang. No cap. Let's get to it though.
Around 4:30 that afternoon, one of the boats experienced some problems with its bilge pump and started taking on water.
Okay, so the boat he talking about, wasn't that the first boat? Wasn't that the boat they called in about, the boat that was sinking? So Nolan wasn't on that boat. Y'all help me out, gang. Come on, I can't figure it out on my own. Y'all help me out. I know y'all smart. Help me out in the chat, man. Get the likes up first. We only have 8 likes. 400 people. 300 some people. Come on, gang. Turn that bit up for me. Y'all help me out. Let's go. You can't even trust what they're saying. We know he was unconscious. They threw him off the boat, let it drown. Hold up. Let's get to it. Let's hear him out.
On that boat, called my client and asked for help. He proceeded to give help. In part.
Also, he said nobody called his client to get help. So who in the hell said damn it Bart though? This is Bart. This is Bart lawyer. Is he just saying this for the books? For the internet or what? Come on, gang. Come on, gang. Now, something ain't right if he's saying this shit, gang. Get the lights up. What's up, Lanier?
By getting on the transom of the boat and helping to remove the plug at the back of the transom of that boat. For people that don't boat, that may not make, that may not be something they understand. But literally, they were just opening up a hole so water would drain out, is the short way of saying this. And then my client got back on the boat that he was piloting and towed the other vessel for a short distance, allowing that water to run off.
You guys know I'm always looking for simple things that can help me stay on top of my game, especially when it comes to hydration. And this is a good
you got another one.
It's not just
you got another one. Somebody that want to promote.
If
not over here.
Brad in quotes, or Bart in quotes, or Billy in quotes, because your client is referred to by multiple different names.
Get on his ass.
Not by you, not by him, but by people on the internet. If he was not killing Nolan Wells, what else was he doing?
Ain't it?
This is what we understand.
Ain't it?
Why would you pull the plug out of a boat? Wouldn't that make it sink? No, depends on the configuration of the hull and the placement of the plug, because sometimes, especially with smaller boats, if they're taking on water, let's say from 20 people drinking beers sitting on the back of it at a party, it can overwhelm a bilge pump that is old, not properly maintained, or has a float switch that gets stuck. And any of those things can happen and you are in a bad position. However, if you know what you're doing, you can pull the plug and then drag the boat so that it goes fast enough that it rises above the level of where the hole is.
Is
So
y'all
instead of
agreeing what he
allowing water
said?
to come in, it allows water to drain out. And then you put the plug back in nice and quick, and you don't have water in the boat anymore, but you do have to address the bilge pump, which you do at a later time. That is an operation that a lot of boaters know, a lot of boaters can do, and
Man, hold up, gang. I'm confused by what that lawyer said still. I'm still stunned by what he said. Like, bro, hold up. They saying they
and
was
that
the call
is
tell us different
the
though. We gotta go to that call. We gotta
involvement
visit
that
this
you are
call.
saying, counsel, your client had on that boat as it was leaving.
Yeah, that's correct. And the end
Are you
result.
impressed that I nailed it, by the way? Are you impressed that
Yeah, I
I
want to
nailed
know
it?
who you
Hell nah, you ain't nailed
Are
nothing.
you a boater?
Shut your
I
ass up.
am a Coast Guard
Look at he talking about, oh, you a
captain,
boater?
certified, and
No,
I
you
have
a
been
ogre.
talking to all of
No,
these
no, no, no,
different-
no, 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 no. You talking about is old boy a boater? Are you a ogre? No, 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 no. Cause someone right, gang. Someone fucking right. Some ain't right, gang. If he's saying this and everybody clearly heard that boy said, damn it, Bart. Dude. Man.
different people and families and people close to the investigation.
Nah, I was on 50-50 side before he said that. I'm serious, y'all. If y'all don't believe me, y'all go back to my old videos on here. Until he said that Nolan wasn't even round board for him to say that. Now hold up now. Let's wait one damn minute, brother.
And a lot of this is new vocabulary, new vernacular. A lot of people see this story very one-dimensional. Mississippi, racist, one black kid, a lot of white kids, the system protecting, and none of this boating stuff makes sense. The boat wasn't sinking. That's a lie to cover a murder. I understand boating differently. I understand investigating differently. I know the operation you're talking about. It is absolutely plausible that this is what was going on. And there are multiple witnesses who say this is exactly what they witnessed going on.
Well, and let's be very clear about the multiple witnesses, because I think there have been some narratives set based on pictures that are not accurate. So very early on, the narrative that was set was we had one picture with Nolan and three friends that are white on the back of a boat. And I think a lot of people developed the thought, okay, four friends went out on a boat together.
Three came back.
Only three came back, and they went to some desolate place. The reality is they went to a place with hundreds of people. There were way more than four friends. It was a mixed race group. So it wasn't just that Nolan was the only black friend in the group.
Which explains some of the pictures out there of mostly white party goers with a black guy, and they just assume if it's a black guy, it must be Nolan. He was the only one. The pictures are not accurate. They're not even, some of them are not even from that day. And you're saying that your client says Nolan was not the only black guy.
Well, I don't know that my client is saying that. I think a lot of witnesses are saying that. I think Trayston Shepard, who is black, has said that he
Yes.
was out there. I think Javon Williams, who is black, has said that he was out there as part of that group.
Oh,
and look,
man.
I want to be very careful not to name people who
We gotta
haven't
go to
already
that.
inserted themselves by
Yes.
talking to media, because this is a witch hunt. I mean, at this point, any name that comes out, people assume that person is a new culpable suspect. But both of those gentlemen have chosen to talk about what happened.
Everybody smash the
while they
like
were
button and
out there,
sub
and to make
button.
the point that Nolan was in fact not the only black friend in that group. I say all that to say that there have been narratives set throughout this discussion that are false narratives, and that have allowed people to develop a perception of what Horn Island would have looked like or what Nolan would have experienced that is in no way accurate.
Understood. Why you're proffering that, and consistent with what I understand of the investigation. Now, have to say, frustrating. The unknown is very powerful as a narrative device, especially within the true crime space, maybe uniquely so. The investigators since the initial, what I say, in my opinion, was the wrong way to come out of the box in this situation, after that, they have said almost nothing because it's all being presented to a grand jury. That level of secrecy is rare, but is righteous. That's how it should be until the grand jury figures out whether it's going to hand up an indictment or not. And then the investigators have more of a clear path, as do anybody who wants a FOIA request or to get more information. So that is a semi-secretive proceeding. The fact that nothing's coming out is not necessarily suspicious. The early indication, I think, triggered a lot of people. I think rightly so, especially Nolan Wells' family. But that's my opinion. I put it to the side. Germane to your case or your concern, that conversation from the sweetened audio where there's one voice calling Cito, I have an account, we've got a little problem. Kid doesn't sound panicked, is very pro forma, saying he has an account because they charge you different things if you have an account or if you don't. And then there is a background conversation which sounds terrible. Sounds like there's blaming and about Nolan waking up, and Nolan may well be there by the nature of this conversation.
So you clicked on this video because you
Is y'all rocking out what they saying,
selling
gang?
collections and buyers.
I'm over here scratching my head. I ain't gonna cap. I'm scratching my head over here. I'm being honest. I'm trying to listen. Oh, here we go. Listen, gang.
Cito Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the work coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
Wait.
Hello?
Wait. Who that just said wait the F up? Who was that? Who was that? If this is real, I done heard this. Hold up. Wait, gang. Let's go back a little bit. Who the real said wait the F up? Who was asleep? Nolan? Nolan wasn't asleep, was it? Man, hold on, gang. Y'all gotta help me out, gang. Put your damn listening ears on and help me figure this shit out. Let's go.
Of this conversation.
Cito Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the work coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
Who said wake the F? It said right there. It say a male said wake the F up. That's what it says. I ain't making nothing up. This is what it says. I'm just going by what it's saying. Okay, let's go.
Hello?
Hey,
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
What is your position on the veracity of that sweetened audio?
So let me address a few things that you said there, and then I certainly will address the audio. There were more than 20 people between those two boats that witnessed what happened between those two boats that were on those vessels. There are, in fact, pictures of who was on those vessels and video of who was on those vessels. There were also a lot of people that were in the water. Like when we're talking about the aid that my client provided to the distressed vessel, it wasn't way out in the water. It literally was while they were still anchored next
Understood.
to Port Allen. So
Understood.
dozens of people that saw what happened there.
Understood, which makes sense because an experienced boater, which these kids are, they go to the island all the time, they fish all the time, they're around boats. You don't take off if you're taking on water. You try to figure out what it is and what to do about it before you leave. I mean, I've been in exactly that position. It makes sense that it would have happened while they were still stationed.
So and so let's also, as we talk about the audio, acknowledge what you said about why investigations stay quiet the way that they do. Because I actually think the audio is a great example of why investigations stay quiet. That audio gets released by the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources.
He trying to say, so he really trying to say, y'all some damn dummies. That's why we stay silent. Because if y'all believe that damn audio, if you want to, that's what I get from what he said. It ain't what I'm saying. I'm just breaking down what he's saying right now. He said, y'all some dummies. That's why everything stays silent like it do. That's why y'all don't know shit. That's why y'all don't know shit now. That's why we don't tell y'all shit now. Because y'all running with lies. This is what the lawyer's saying. This is Board lawyer. Let's go.
A version of it. It's not clear that that was the original audio. And then people take it and try and pick it apart. So you have mentioned enhanced audio and different things that people have heard. It's worth noting that there's been more than one source of quote unquote enhanced audio. That audio appears in different lengths. That different forensic experts have said that there are quote unquote artifacts that were added to the enhanced audio. That music was removed from the enhanced audio. And so all of those things should create a degree of skepticism.
What the hell music got to do with the audio? People remove the music because you can't put it on YouTube. A lot of platforms are going to let you play that damn music. I'm just going to be honest. Probably TikTok or something. Probably let you play a little music on that bit, but not YouTube. Whoever edited it, y'all know how YouTube is. Whoever took the music off it. Let's go though.
The other thing that I would say is that if you listen to even the enhanced audio, and News Nation had a guy on recently, Robert Freed, who talked about this, who is an audio expert. If you listen to it without the transcript that some people have put on top of it, even the enhanced audio is garbled mess. And so what I would say is, you probably are aware of this. There's all sorts of scientific research on this about the way the human brain processes and offers preference to certain types of input. There's a visual input preference over an auditory input preference. There was a famous experiment done around this, Chris, where two groups of people were put into separate rooms with a noise that didn't say anything. And they were told, one group was said that the noise was the word green needle or words green needle, and the other was told that it was the word brainstorm. And they got put back together, and they both swore vehemently that they had heard either green needle or brainstorm because they had that visual cue. So I think there's a reason that reputable outlets have chosen not to run enhanced audio, because if you're a reputable outlet, you try to figure out who put this together. Did they start with the original so that we know it wasn't corrupted from the beginning? Is there evidence of corruption that we can detect? Are the links the same? Does that person have bias? These are the questions you'd want to know before you put something in front of people with a written transcript that tells them what they should be hearing and then allow it to mislead people. We put zero stock in enhanced audio, quote unquote, enhanced audio. And I think that there's a reason that reputable outlets, and candidly, a lot of reputable audio experts, are saying that people shouldn't either.
Do y'all agree with old boy right now? Do y'all agree with Board lawyer right now, gang? Let me know. Let me know if you agree with him, gang. Let me know. Is y'all rocking with him right now or no?
Are here to stay. Gas, groceries, insurance. It's going to take time. And if you're a homeowner, you probably thought, should I refinance now?
All right, fam.
Should I do that to pay off?
All right, fam.
I've seen multiple versions. The one that is getting the most traction is a black female who seems to be well versed
Y'all say
in
no,
audio
no.
editing, and she
also
goes into
hear
great
it in
detail of what she did, and then it has this background conversation. I have used sweetened audio or audio sweeteners,
they said
not
they
just
ain't
for
rocking with
simple
his
editing
dad right now.
purposes here, because obviously my voice is near perfect, but in making things clearer in audio. For example, there is an infamous / famous recording of one-time Trump attorney / bagman / confidant Michael Cohen having a conversation with then citizen Donald Trump about certain payments to certain women. And we used audio sweetening to bring out the voices. It can be done. It can be done forensically. It can be done well. Here is the good news. it doesn't matter about anything that I'm saying, or frankly, counsel is saying up until this point. Does your client say he was part of a conversation on that boat about what was done to Nolan Wells and what kind of situation Nolan Wells was in?
No, I mean, we have been vehement that Nolan Wells was never on my client's boat, that my client never saw Nolan Wells on anybody else's boat, that my client has no idea the circumstances that led to Nolan Wells' death, that he did not cause or contribute to the circumstances that led to Nolan Wells' death. And look, the family has also been very clear that they understand
Y'all hear what he's saying?
tremendous grief that Nolan Wells' parents are experiencing, that the Ocean Springs community is experiencing, candidly, that his friends are experiencing. And they understand the demand for answers. They understand why this process has to be done thoroughly, why investigators have to turn over every rock. And to that end, I would just tell you that certainly in the case of my client, and certainly in the case of some of these other young men, based on conversations that I've had, they cooperated fully with authorities from the very beginning of this process. I think the only thing that my client and others have asked for is not to arrive at a verdict in a way that is pre-drawn, but instead to wait on facts and evidence before you convict someone in a court of public opinion, because the consequence of that is that you're ruining people's reputations. The consequence of that is that you're subjecting people to actual physical threats and violence. And that's not the way that our system should work.
Has it slowed down? How is your client handling it?
I would tell you that, he's a 21-year-old, kid's the wrong word, because I know that's a grown man, but you can remember being 21.
He is a physically grown man. He is not an emotionally or cognitively grown man. I've got one at home. In fact, I've got two at home, one male, one female in that age range. I see them as children within the eyes of the law, obviously adults.
Right. And I'm not suggesting that's not true, but I am suggesting that you and I both remember what it was like to be 21. And this is devastating. Now, I will say to his credit, I think this would be devastating to somebody that's 45 or 60 to have these kind of accusations being bandied about without evidence. To his credit, he is an incredibly mature, candidly wise young man.
Well, this kind of situation makes you grow up fast. But just for the benefit of the audience, as a simple colloquy, you just stated there were multiple witnesses to attest to this one way or the other. Your client was not on a boat with Nolan Wells. He knew Nolan Wells.
Hey, y'all, get me to 100 likes. Hit the
when
sub
your
button.
client got on the boat to help,
Turn me up.
Nolan Wells was not there.
Hit the
True?
super chat. Hit the gills. Let's go, man.
Your
Crank that bit up for me.
client was not present when anything happened to Nolan Wells. Is that true?
Yes.
Your
Oh,
client
y'all
was
heard
never
it?
part of a conversation where other people were panicked.
Y'all heard it? Hold up. Wait. We're going to go back just a little bit just in case some people missed it. Y'all heard he said? Y'all see what he's saying now? Y'all see what old boy asking me? Y'all see what he's saying? Hold on. Just ain't nothing I'm making up.
And this is devastating. Now, I will say to his credit, I think this would be devastating to somebody that's 45 or 60 to have these kind of accusations being bandied about without evidence. To his credit, he is an incredibly mature, candidly wise young man.
Well, this kind of situation makes you grow up fast. But just for the benefit of the audience, as a simple colloquy, you just stated there were multiple witnesses to attest to this one way or the other. Your client was not on a boat with Nolan Wells. He knew Nolan Wells. He was not with him. When your client got on the boat to help, Nolan Wells was not there. True?
Okay. Hold on. Come on, man. Come on now. No, we don't want no damn. What is that? I don't even know.
True?
That's correct.
Your client was not present when anything happened to Nolan Wells. Is that true?
Yes.
Your client was never part of a conversation where other people were panicked about what had happened to Nolan Wells.
That's correct.
and no one saw your client with Nolan Wells while the boat was leaving.
Yeah, I mean, certainly not to my knowledge. I can tell you that he wasn't with him.
Wait,
You know,
wait. You the damn lawyer, Piggy. Piggy, you the lawyer. You supposed to know it. You ain't get that from you said to my knowledge. You supposed to know, brother. But let's go though. I ain't gonna get on your ass too much. Let's go. I'm gonna let the chat get on your ass. They'll pick you apart. Let's go though.
Then it doesn't really matter what the sweetened audio says unless there was another guy with the same name as your client who was on that boat at a different time. Other than that, because the CETO call is happening while he's there. So unless it's patched together from different moments, your suggestion is it cannot be accurate.
yeah, I will just say again that my client had nothing to do with the death of Nolan Wells, has no knowledge of the circumstances of Nolan's death.
What?
And was no way involved in
What? Y'all hear what he's saying? I ain't making this up. He's saying that.
covering up or concealing any information that would be relevant to investigators figuring out what happened to Nolan.
Have the investigators come back to your client?
He's talked to the investigators. I'm not sure what you mean by come back to him.
Like, have they had
Come on, bro. You know what? Baby, come back. Baby, do you need my hand? Baby, come back. Oh, how that damn song go? You know what baby come back mean. Come on, brother. Let's go now. I was on 50-50 side. I'm telling y'all, I was 50-50 with this shit. Let's go though.
questions for him on more than one occasion after they asked for his initial statement and cooperation?
Yeah, I think he talked to different sets of investigators. And I want to be very careful that I don't insert my own speculation. Mm-hmm. But my appreciation is that he's talked to different sets of investigators. You know, as an example, the DMR form that shows that he was identified as one of the two boat owners, which has been misinterpreted by some people. He let DMR officers onto the boat to take the GPS and all of that. Those would be investigators that would be separate from the Jackson County Sheriff's Office.
Does your client remember the last time he saw Nolan Wells at the event? Obviously, he knew he was part of the group, even though he wasn't with him specifically because it was multiple people, multiple boats. Does he remember the last time he saw him there?
Yeah, what I would say on that is he has told me that he did see Nolan that day, but that they really didn't interact that day. One of the things to appreciate here is that my client is 21 years old. He did play football with Nolan Wells in high school, but he was 3 years older than Nolan. And so certainly my client would consider Nolan a friend, but it wasn't the same sort of level of relationship. They didn't go out there together that day.
Understood. There is also a suggestion that your client knew the woman being called Katie, who may have been with Nolan Wells, may have been his reason that he didn't want to go home with the buddies who brought him.
Yeah, and so there have been a number of just purely made up things, and this is one of the more egregious purely made up things. What happened in this instance, Chris, is that somebody literally went and pulled a picture of my client with a young lady that was several years old, and then misidentified the young lady as someone named Katie, who, according to other witnesses, Nolan was speaking to that day.
No, wait. No. Tell it how it was now. Tell it how it was, Olga. We heard that Nolan, the last time they seen Nolan, he had Katie in his arms walking through the water. Did y'all hear that or not? Y'all heard that? One of the friends said it was Warren. I think it was Warren or the other one said last time I seen Nolan, dude, he had Katie in his arms walking through the water. I'm being honest, guy. I'm just going off of what they saying. This ain't nothing I'm making up. I'm going off of what these niggas saying, not me.
This level of speculation, which has gone on to, essentially that my client had a relationship with this person named Katie, and it created jealousy that Nolan was speaking to her, and that is evidence of motive. The problem with that line of reasoning is that the person in the photograph, upon which the entire theory is based, is not in fact someone named Katie. And let me say this, because some news organizations have covered this point as if it's a he said, she said debate. Journalists are capable of actually figuring out who is in the photograph. There are people that they went to high school with who can tell you who's in the photograph. The young lady's mother can tell you who's in the photograph. The young lady can tell you who's in the photograph. We've chosen not to use her name because we don't want her to face the same ridiculous level of scrutiny and craziness that's going on the internet. But this is not a he said, she said. Like, this is a verifiable fact that the person in the photograph that's been used to create this crazy theory is not someone named Katie.
Right.
And it's also a fact that Bart had never met this person named Katie, had no relationship with this person named Katie. It's just literally people pulling things out of thin air.
Hey, you can't keep putting that word
That's
in here,
the
bro.
nature of clickbait. Sometimes it's well-intentioned.
You just come back tomorrow,
Sometimes it's
my boy.
curiosity. Sometimes it's
Can't keep putting that
cynicism.
word in here.
Most of the time,
I see you
it's
just don't give a
about
damn when you
clickbait
talk.
for profit. And that's what works. That's what gets you the views. And
Just
you
because
do
you
not
see
have
me
the
doing
same
what I
kind
do,
of...
don't mean you do it. Do not follow what I do. Have your own mind. You know you can't do all that on YouTube, chat. This ain't TikTok and Instagram. Stop it. Let's go.
liability that I do at News Nation, or I do as a known entity, as a lot of these other people. There's not a lot of pockets to tap. There aren't corporations attached. And to that end, what we're seeing with you, Mr. Latino, is kind of the new normal, which is I'm going to hire an attorney if I'm Bart or his parents, and I'm going to go after the people who are going after me, put them on notice to cease and desist their disparaging and defamatory comments. And if they don't, I will sue them for the same. That has been your approach. Has it changed the disposition? I know one account responded by saying basically, bring it on, as if they were welcoming of that. What is your assessment of the situation and in response to that?
Yeah, I would say that ultimately issues like this aren't going to get decided on Facebook, but in a court. I would say that same individual did actually take down all of the posts related to my client.
And I can confirm.
While simultaneously inviting us to bring it on. I would also, not that it's my job to give counsel to people who may be on the other side of us, but, those posts are going to be evidence. The post in which people talk about getting rich off of the fact that they're making defamatory comments end up as evidence. And I would suggest that it's evidence that federal judges probably won't look too kindly upon.
Yeah. The impact on Bart, his life, how serious have the threats been? I know that there was a suggestion that his accurate address had been put out there. What have been the effects of the notoriety?
Yeah, and so the answer is that his address was put out there. Pictures of his home were put out there. Land plats showing where to find the property relative to other property were put out there. That's doxing. That's all in violation of some of these platforms' terms of service, but candidly, some of these platforms are slow to act on those things. Look, we believe the consequence of that and some of the things that have been put out there are the credible death threats that have been received both by my client and his family. I don't want to sensationalize those things because candidly, I don't want to invite other sickos into the fold, but they're real. And law enforcement has treated them as being real, up to and including an arrest by the FBI on Friday.
Bob told us.
Say call Katie or that Katie girl. Y'all get the lights up, gang. Why we ain't at 200 lights?
Face to face.
Yeah, see, that's what we talking about, gang. Y'all don't F with me. We don't see no super chats or gifts. Y'all said y'all love what the dude said on Baby Boy. Y'all said y'all loved me, didn't it? Y'all said I can stay here, bought me all these clothes, video games. All right, don't even worry about it. Y'all said y'all love me, didn't it? I'm telling you. Somebody bought me all the damn video games. For real, for real. $294. I don't give a damn. Motherfucker love when I said that. You figured out by now. Y'all don't know. I am the savage.
And look, it is not a secret. The account, well, there are multiple accounts, but one of them
Let's go.
is known
Crank this
as
bit up.
Kimbra Lee. And she has
Kimbra Lee.
said that she stands by everything she says, but the posts and the content on that page has changed the last time I checked.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there have been things removed. There's also been additional qualifications, I think, in the way that it's getting presented. We know who that person is. That is a pseudonym, but we know who that person is.
It is often a pseudonym. It is often that way. Not a lot of people want to own what they put out online.
So let me say this on there are like three levels of analysis here, right? To us at least. There's who are the defamers that are just making up things wholesale, right? And then there's a more sophisticated layer of people that we think send signals, who maybe try to skirt defamation, but actively send signals that some of these folks who are a little bit off hinge pick up on and run with. And then I think there's a third level, and whether this is moral culpability or legal culpability, we'll find out maybe. But the platforms that allow for the proliferation of very sensational conduct, defamatory statements, but candidly that have a design that not only allow for that, but that push that and that create both a profit motive for the platforms, but candidly a profit motive for the people who are creating that content.
Yep. I think, look, it's all relevant. And of course, the shame is that this, on certain levels, doesn't make sense at this point. But that's because of all the layers that have been put on top of the unknown, in my assessment. Now, I am hearing from sources that I will protect close to the investigation that the investigators do have more information from their autopsy, not the autopsy, the secondary one that was done by the family and their agents and representatives, which was, of course, going to be less conclusive, less helpful, frankly, than the initial one, because certain things were removed and kept for later investigation, which is very normal. The suggestion that they took things and hid them so the family couldn't find things out, I see no basis for that. And certainly autopsies regularly collect tissue samples and other parts of the body for examination. You have also heard that they know things about the first autopsy.
Yeah, so what I've tried to do is not to increase or worsen a speculative environment. There are things that I know that I think the average person doesn't know.
I think there are things that I know that the average person doesn't know that are not points of speculation. One, that they found, now, and again, this could cut three different ways. They found evidence of water in tissue and cavities consistent with drowning. However, the body was also floating in the water and could have collected water. You could shoot me, I fall in the water, I could have water become the equivalent of ingested. Not that often, but it happens. In the stomach, yeah, a little bit, depends on the condition of the epiglottis. The lungs, more common because there are more entryways that can get to it. The second is, okay, so there was water in there and he was drowned, but he had help drowning. And that the third possibility is that there was water there, but it is not conclusive. I am being told it is consistent with drowning. What that means investigatively is still open to interpretation. You've heard the same.
Yeah, so let me just say this briefly, that it's important to recall that even in the independent autopsy that has been made public, that there were no signs of defensive wounds noted by the pathologist. Mm-hmm. There were no contusions noted by the pathologist. There were no lacerations noted by the pathologist. There was no injury to bone noted by the pathologist. And so I just want to say that because I understand you're offering a hypothetical by saying you could be shot and then put in water. I want to be very clear that even the independent autopsy did not have any indications.
There is no suggestion of gross injury. I thank you for the clarification. I do not mean to suggest otherwise. I'm saying that what I have been told, that there is evidence consistent with drowning, doesn't mean that he drowned necessarily, or that the drowning was the cause of death, or the water in there was the cause of death. I'm just being open-minded because that is the most practical way to be. Subject to, I have not seen the report of the first autopsy. The second autopsy, they did find a red spot on the back of the skull, as people should be aware. What is that? It could be several different things. It could be friction. It could be rubbing. Blunt force, probably not, according to the notes as reported on that second autopsy. Could have been from sitting on itself and lividity, the pooling of fluid, blood, etc. But subject to decay and decomposition, which gives you a little bit more of a qualified analysis in the second autopsy, that they didn't see as much tissue availability and be able to analyze it because it had decomposed both before the first autopsy and since the first autopsy, and things had been done to the body in the first autopsy, which made it harder for the second one. That is my understanding of it. Also, the headline information, not surprising to me, is that he was there drinking. He was seen drinking. He was known to enjoy drinking, and that's what was going on at Horn Island. You can feel any way you want about it, but it is, as a matter of fact, what the situation was about. So the toxicology early on shows a significant level of blood alcohol, the BAC level, as they call it, in the body. You have also heard that. Am I correct, counsel?
So they trying to say Nolan was lit? I know a lot of people been saying that. It said Nolan was lit. A lot of people been saying that. Saying Nolan was lit, man. A lot of people been saying that. For real though.
I'm going to wait till the pathologist puts out the report, and I'm going to wait till the district attorney puts out the evidence that they have. What I will say,
what's safe to say is you cannot contradict me at this point.
What I will say is that I think when all of the evidence is presented, it will be overwhelming, and that it will be overwhelmingly clear from witnesses, forensic evidence, pictures, videos, that what my client has said is true. And so, you know, what I don't want to do, Chris, and I understand that in some ways you're trying to present things that could be exonerating. I don't want to be guilty of the same thing that I'm accusing other people.
I totally get it. You are trying to not be what you oppose, and you're respecting the process. I'm fine with that. I'm just saying, I'm having it both ways. This is what I've heard. I can advance what information is out there, but I am, unlike many people in this space, very wary of context. Knowing that there is water in cavities in the body I get what it's suggestive of. I get that it's consistent. I've seen this many, many, many times. It does not let me know conclusively what led to the water being in the body. That's what I'm saying. Similarly, the back find, the blood alcohol content. Again, I could be drunk as a skunk and you could drown me. So now I have a very high blood level of alcohol, but I also didn't drown from being drunk. So you got to stay open. Very rarely is one piece of information dispositive of an analysis. And I believe that's where we are. And I get that they don't want more information to come out until they're ready to do it and to present it the way they want to. And I cannot question that, but for one thing, counsel, which is, again, outside the wheelhouse of your representation, but relevant to you as an officer of the court and as a citizen of the area. Coming out of the box hot, saying this is tragic, we have the body, we have no proof at this time of any foul play. There was no need to put that last part that way. They could have just said there was nothing obvious in our initial assessment of the body to explain what happened here. We are investigating. I think had they said it that way, this may not have escalated as quickly as it did.
So what I would say is I don't have the statement directly in front of me, but I think the statement was actually much closer to your version than the version that has been framed. My recollection is not that authorities ever came out and said there's just no foul play, point blank, the investigation is
No,
over.
they did not say it that way. You're right. They
And
said
so
we don't have any evidence of foul play at this point.
at this point, but it's an ongoing investigation, right?
Right.
And I think, that's actually not uncommon in the sense that, like, you're able to examine a body and see that there aren't signs of defensive
Hey,
wounds.
salute to
things of
everybody in
that
that
nature.
bit. Hit the sub and like button for me. It's sad.
I understand your point, which is people interpret it one way. It became a narrative as to, did these folks jump to a conclusion too fast? What I would tell you is this.
Damn,
and
it
I
raining
just
while
wanna
I'm
I think that people have every right to be skeptical. I think people have every right to have opinions about the quality of an investigation. I would say that a learned opinion would wait to see what the investigation actually uncovered. But people have the right to have those opinions. I think where it gets dangerous is when you presuppose a verdict. You presuppose that certain people are culpable. So I don't fault anybody for asking hard questions.
Hey, appreciate that gift, Opie.
I do think that
Appreciate that, gang.
we're living in a society, Chris, where it is much easier
Salute,
to
Opie.
let our ADHD or our attention deficit get the better of us because we feel entitled to answers. Like something gets us fired up as citizens, and we immediately feel entitled to answers. His family's entitled to answers. The people in the community are entitled to answers. There should be transparency, but there are a lot of people who view themselves as internet detectives, and their sort of short attention spans are so consuming that instead of waiting for facts, instead of waiting for evidence, instead of waiting for the investigation, they create their own theories, their own facts that are completely baseless. And I think that's dangerous. And candidly, it's not just dangerous to people like my client, it's dangerous to the process. Let's assume in a case that there's actual foul play, whether it's this case or any other case.
Traveling with your gun is a roll of the dice, because the truth is, one small mistake, whether you know it or not, can lead to serious legal trouble, huge.
If you've got 100 theories that have been put out and then debunked, you arguably have created reasonable doubt.
Is y'all rocking with the lawyer, gang? Let me know. Is y'all rocking with this lawyer?
If the investigators actually believe that there's something in someone to go after. I think that people need to think about this, not in terms of just the damage that they're causing to individuals who are innocent and are being wrongfully accused of stuff. I think they also need to think about it in terms of the damage to the process itself.
Yeah, I think that there's been an erosion over a long time. I think it's a balancing interest. For instance, I believe
Say
that
no.
other than
Okay, I see no, 2 no's.
some cases involving minors, I think there should be cameras in every courtroom. Why?
Not
Because
rocking with the
I'm
lawyer.
older than
Say
you
not.
and pretty much everybody watching this right now. But I remember when it was trust but verify. We are not there anymore. As a lawyer, as an officer of the court, as a longtime journalist, we're not there anymore.
Jay
People don't
said
trust
yes.
me. They don't trust you. They don't trust these cops. They don't trust anything. And we understand why. Good reason, bad reason, no reason. We are where we are. Now I believe it's the reverse. You've got to have transparency. You've got to let people into not the investigative process, of course, but we have to err on the side of transparency. And now you have a revenue model that is based on speculation. I have no problem with curiosity. I have no problem with people saying, oh, this Russ Latino, man, he answers everything like a lawyer. I don't know. I don't know that I trust him. That's okay. That's a fair opinion. Lawyers are a little cagey. You can feel that way about it. And I don't like that Bart isn't speaking.
Y'all heard what he said?
And I don't know that I believe I heard something. It's all good. It's all fair game. There is a line that no longer exists, which was, yeah, but you're saying something as a matter of fact that is really just an opinion and is based on something that isn't true, that you know isn't true. That is now a common consideration and it's all over the place. I believe it's actually, believe this or not, Russ, this will be hard for you because this is your world. It's better here than it is in politics. It's better here. You've got a better shot at defending yourself here than you do in politics.
Yeah, and that may very well be true. And also, I could care less if somebody looks at me and says he's a lawyer, so I'm not going to trust him. People can say whatever they want. I care an awful lot about the process being legitimate. I care an awful lot about the things that I think have made this country great. And, we talked about this on your program, but we're celebrating 250 years. And Chris, if I'm honest, I'm worried about whether or not we get another 250. Because a lot of the bedrock concepts that I think did make this country great, if you're talking about the rule of law, if you're talking about the presumption of innocence, if you're talking about due process, those things are being dramatically eroded by a culture that wants answers now, or that sees things like this, a tragedy like this, as a game or a form of entertainment or a way to make money. And I just worry about our ability to persist as a culture if adults like you, candidly, don't step up and say, there's got to be nuanced thought. These things have to be based on evidence. We can't jump to these kinds of conclusions and ruin people's lives. I've said this from the get-go before I ever was contacted by anybody about this case as a lawyer, that look, if there was foul play, somebody needs to be held accountable. I just don't think you start with that assumption and then crucify people.
Yes, I do. We differ on this, that I believe the way, the initial statement they put out.
The lawyer,
I don't think
the lawyer telling y'all now, he telling y'all everything y'all saying is cap. This is what Bart lawyer is saying. He's saying y'all cap. So y'all need to stop the cap. That's basically what he's saying. Stop the cap. Yeah, he's saying stop the cap. Yeah, this for everybody in the chat that don't like what's going on. He letting y'all know. He said stop the cap. That's what he's saying, gang. Not me.
I think it could have been done a different way. Now, this is stylistic, yes, but I think it had an emotional impact on members of the community, specifically the family, and probably a significant number of other black folks. Why? Well, there's another layer to this. I haven't even said the word yet. Mississippi. And you're from there. You take it a certain way. It's personal to you. It's bothersome to you. As someone not from Mississippi, been there many times, covered things that's happened there many times, you have an overlay of, oh, yeah, the black guy. You flip it, and there's one white guy who goes out with a bunch of black guys. Forget it. It'd be all over the place. But now people are wrong to want to know what happened. There's a lot to this that becomes a burden on the system, but also just proof of watching it. The overlay, the cultural overlay, if this is Mississippi, if you flip the color ratio, everybody would be taking it seriously. But now everybody's being too sensitive. That's not fair, especially in this place and with this population. How does that hit you? Not as a lawyer, but as a denizen of the community.
So I think you said that some of that narrative would be bothersome to me. I mean, I think there are parts that are bothersome, but maybe not the ones that you would assume. nobody in Mississippi denies the history of this state. People are very cognizant. In fact, we're reminded constantly of the history of this state. And it's dark. And we understand the tentacles of that darkness persist today.
What's up, Slim Jones?
That there's skepticism
W everybody in
today
there
because of that. What I would tell you is that the community that you're talking about in Ocean Springs is a community where you've got people like Nolan and like his friends and like Javon and Trayston who are just friends and that see each other that way. And so I think to the extent there's been frustration, it's been a lack of recognition that these young guys were actually good buddies. And some of the assumptions that are based in things that happened in the 1950s or 1960s are in fact no longer representative of Mississippi, right? I think that there is a universe in which you can recognize the past and because of the past, understand why there's skepticism or a lack of trust. But the past is not evidence. The past might generate that skepticism, but by itself is not evidence. And I think you've got to factor in the truth that Mississippi is a state with about 37% of our population that is African American, that there are millions of positive interactions, on a weekly basis between white citizens in Mississippi and black citizens in Mississippi in a way that candidly probably don't exist in states that are more monolithic, that don't have that diversity of population. And so I don't think anybody here is trying to run away from the past. I think what people here would say is you've got to recognize and give some context to the fact that things have changed, that there has been progress. And you also have to recognize that none of these communities are homogenous, right? And I'd say this in a broad way, like,
you don't know what an AI work management platform is? Okay, let me tell you. Here's 3 new AI-powered changes.
360,000 Union soldiers died in the Civil War, right? Schwerner and Goodman were 2 white kids who died aside Cheney, trying to get voting rights in Mississippi, during that period of the Civil Rights era. You've got hundreds of examples of white Southerners that fought for civil rights. And I shouldn't say hundreds of thousands, right? That fought for civil rights. And so anytime, I think it's problematic to suggest that because things happened in the 50s and 60s, that it's emblematic of what's happening today. That's problematic by itself. But it's also problematic to ignore that even in those dark periods, you had an awful lot of white citizens that fought alongside black citizens for civil rights that recognized the inequity or inequality that was occurring in the culture.
Not everything is one way, and it can definitely fuel the suspicion of the moment. Even if there were rampant racism going on right now in Mississippi, doesn't mean that that's what this case is about. And the burden of due process and the belief in due process doesn't change and shouldn't change. I get that there were suspicions about that based on the initial statements about what happened here from the authorities, but that's just one statement. As you suggest, taken a little out of context. I think it could have been worded differently, but that's neither here nor there. The family, as long as they're kept in the loop and treated right by investigators, and they're meeting the standard of giving it to a grand jury, which I get. Some people have a problem with that. I don't know why. If what you want is due process, then they give it to it, even though some will say, well, it's pro forma. They go to the grand jury with everything. Okay, they're doing it here. So we'll see what happens with that step. And that is really all that matters, is what happens when that grand jury makes its final assessment.
I think that the idea of submitting this to the grand jury, I think Angel has, the DA here has a protocol where she submits every death that is not a natural cause death, a car wreck, a heart attack, to a grand jury in part because she wants to be sure that this is a process of integrity. And so I do think a lot of people are probably reading into that. I wouldn't read much into that either direction.
Yeah, look, ordinarily, I started off as one of them. Why? Because a prosecutor is supposed to have a good faith basis for thinking there may be probable cause in going to a grand jury. If you were to have a dispositive finding that this was a drowning or an accident or whatever, then you don't have a good faith belief that there's probable cause. Then I learned that this DA goes with pretty much everything that doesn't scream heart attack or old age home. And I get it, that you're right. It doesn't mean anything one way or the other, but it does mean that the normal process is not being subverted.
Yeah, no, I think she's following the same protocol and treating this case the same way she treats every case.
And, we'll see. They're not quick processes, but it shouldn't take forever. And I think the sooner that there are answers, the better in this. And as I said to you before, and I will say it again, you are welcome to this platform for any significant advances.
Is y'all rocking
in
with the
your
lawyer gang?
understanding
Let
of
me
your
know.
case.
Get the lights up.
And I appreciate you taking this
Oh,
opportunity.
we really finna crank this bit up some more.
For having me on, and candidly, thanks.
Nah. We done. We done with you, ogre. I mean, lawyer. My fault. We done with Shrek. Yeah, we done with Shrek. We done heard from Shrek. Is y'all down with what Shrek said? Let me know, gang, in the chat. Oh, we really finna crank this bit up. Now, this bit ain't over. We only been here an hour 16. Oh, we finna go. Oh, we finna go hard. We finna go hard. Let me see. Let's really crank that. Let's really crank it up. Let's crack it up. Let's get it to y'all boy then. Since we done heard from the lawyer. Let's hear from old boy real quick. Let's hear from him right quick. Turn it bit up. Let's get into y'all boy right quick.
You have personal knowledge of someone directly in your friend group having anything to do with Nolan's death?
No, not at all.
Let's get to y'all boy right quick. Get the lights up. Let's go.
So I saw you on television. You had an interview, and I felt like you laid out a few things that I think the world needs to know and be clear about.
Okay.
And
what's up,
the
JL?
first
W
one
gang.
is the
W everybody in here.
relationship that you had with Nolan. Can you explain your relationship with Nolan?
Yeah, I will. So his mom got on TV, as everybody has seen, and said that she didn't know me. And man, that can't be farthest from the truth. Me and Nolan.
She said she didn't know you. One thing about a mother know about her son friends. I ain't gonna count. One thing about a mother, I ain't gonna say all mothers, but some mothers just know. Let's go though.
I met Nolan in 9th grade in a second block class. It was math. He was
Salute JL.
He was one of the first guys I made friends with.
Salute to my dog
He was
JL,
somebody
man.
I
Day
made
one.
a connection to, like off rip. He was an athlete.
I got a couple day ones that we still coming in here.
Sat really close to each other, And all he did, he turned around and asked me for a pencil when I first met him in 9th grade when I moved to Ocean Springs. Man, it was tough, and the relationship there has always been best friend in my eyes. I never wanted to take away how close somebody else was with
Everything
Nolan,
good,
but
JL.
Nolan was my
Everybody
best
good.
friend. That was a guy I knew I could call at any point in time. He called me at 11 o'clock on the 4th to see where I was parked at. Man, me and Nolan have countless nights of him giving me advice on my girlfriend, on my life in general. Nolan has been the only friend, and I love my friends and my best friends in this group of guys, but Nolan has been the only person that ever tell me, like, he's proud of what I've done. He's proud of how hard I worked. He's proud of me going overseas to go play ball. That was my guy. Like, that was my best friend.
Iceman.
He said Nolan was his best friend,
Yeah.
gang.
And so, how does it make you feel when
Salute to my boy
the
JL,
media
man.
activists are coming out and alluding to the fact that you may have something to do with what happened to Nolan on that day?
Man, that hurts. It hurts is an understatement. I beat myself up every night I lay down. Beat myself up anytime it crosses my mind.
Oh, he
Because
said
in
that
my
hurt.
head, if I wasn't drinking, if I didn't get into that altercation,
So y'all all would
maybe
leave.
I would be able to do something. Maybe I would have known.
Oh, so Warren got into the altercation then. So it was Warren that got into the altercation with somebody then, gang. Okay, bet. Let's go.
Saw something. Maybe I would have told Nolan, hey, man, you're not going with that girl. Just come back with us. We're going back a little bit later. We can go meet up with the guys later. Maybe it just plays out different. And then the fact that they're going to play that is I'm already trying to mourn my friend's death as is, and I'm blaming myself for it. To put that in my head is a next level of hurt that can't be truly explained. Because it's hard to put into words. Generally, it's backstabbing from a sense of a community that I thought I had with my skin color, and you know they stay so strong together, and I'm supposed to be one of them, but I come up and I speak, and now I'm the person to blame. Now I'm not dark enough for them. I'm not black enough for them, and now I'm the issue. It doesn't make sense.
So y'all hear what he's saying? He said, "Oh, now I'm not black enough for y'all." That's what he's saying. Oh, now I'm not black enough for y'all. This is what Warren has said. Not Warren. What old boy name is? I forgot his fucking name. It ain't Warren. It's the other dude name right here. I forgot his fucking name. The other friend. But anyway, that's what he's saying. Oh, I ain't black enough. So this the thanks I get. This is what Nolan friend is saying. Well, so-called friend. This the thanks I get. But somebody said he wasn't even on the damn boat. Yeah. Somebody had said that this nigga wasn't even on the damn boat. No cap. So I don't know why they interviewing this nigga. Let's go.
It doesn't make sense.
Was Nolan? I mean, obviously you were in a friend group, but the way the media makes it seem is that almost as if Nolan was the only black person in this whole friend group. Now they don't even mention you. They don't bring you up in this whole thing when it comes to, you know, what happened on at Horn Island. So what's your take on Nolan being, you know, presented as like the only black kid in a group of all these white boys?
That's crazy, man. I know we've spoken a little bit, but that friend group that I'm a part of to this day was the first friend group I was in when I moved to Ocean Springs as a new kid coming in. I never knew any of them. I known one, kind of, sort of, back from
Tristan,
grade school.
yeah, that's what
we
his
went
name
to the same
was.
private school together. But that was it. And him being the only black person, minority, any of that measure is insane. Our friend group is diverse from the max. Like, we have a mixed guy. I mean, we had Nolan in our friend group. There's an Asian a part of our friend group. There's a Latino that they're trying to perceive as white. He's truly authentic Mexican. His parents are from Mexico. They came over legally and they did everything right, and he's been here since. It blows my mind because Our friend group is not a friend group that sees race. Our friend group sees what good you do for other people, what good you bring, and how the type of person you truly are, and where your morals lie. That's one thing in common. Me and my friends might not agree on everything, but our morals align. Our morals know. So for them to even make that narrative up really shows you have no idea what it's like down here on the coast. You have no idea how tight-knit Ocean Springs as a community is. You don't understand it. You don't see the thousands of kids in the high school football stands cheering their team on. Nobody cares what color you are. We're there to have fun and to just live, and that's how Nolan
Who
lives.
asked?
That's how I live.
Somebody
now.
said, "Why he
It's-
hugging himself?"
I'm growing up and I have more big boy stuff, but in high school, all I cared about was going to hang out with my guys. And I mean, on a personal level that leads off of it, is like, it got me in trouble with my girlfriend just because I wanted to be with the guys. I never once thought, man, they look at me different. Man, I'm kind of an outcast.
Nah, I'm about to say, damn. So you ain't want to be with no girls, no chicks. You just want to be with the guys. Oh man, I just want to be with the guys. No, I'm just trolling. I'm trolling. Let go.
Nah. All their have always welcomed me with open arms. Anytime I needed anything, I knew I could call them and their parents, and they would do anything in the world for me. So with Crump pushing this narrative, it's wrong.
Yay!
Especially about our friend group.
No, we ain't got nothing against the other side. You know what? Let me clear that up. I ain't got nothing against the other side. Whatever you do, whatever you do on time, that's on you. That's all I'm saying. But let's go though.
Find it, especially after talking to you, meeting some of the guys, that it seems like there was an agenda. But can you walk us through just your perspective from that day? I don't know if did you go with them initially? Were you a part of the group that went to Horn Island?
So I wasn't, no, clear that up.
I was saying the other side of the races. I'm not trying. You know what I'm talking about. I was talking about the alphabet community. That's what I was talking about. The alphabet community. That's what I was talking about.
No, I was not on the boat with them. Yes, I was a part of the group that was supposed to go out. So the only reason why I did not go on the boat is I was offered, I got begged to go, but my uncle, we also took 12 people out on our boat, not including us two, so 14. And my uncle knows the passengers wouldn't have helped. Generally wouldn't have helped with anything. With that many people on a boat, you need a little bit of help. So my uncle was like, hey, can you just ride out with me and you can go do your thing throughout the day on the island? I don't care. I don't need you. I just need help to get out there and then pick everything up. Because I know all these people are going to be drunk and they're not going to want to do the extras that nobody sees about going out on the boat, right? And so I told Wyatt that, and oops, my bad. But I told him, I told him that, and I
burping all into the mic.
Everything, which was go to plan. We were leaving a little bit earlier than them. I was gonna try to have a spot saved out, and Nolan calls me at 11 o'clock. I missed his phone call. Called me twice. I missed both of them. I saw Wyatt and Nolan on the boat. They pulled right in front of our boat, and they were screaming. I turned my head and I was like, "Yo, there's a spot over there, where they end up anchoring out." I helped them.
So he's saying that Nolan was trying to find somewhere to park. Ain't that right? I appreciate that Uncle alert back, man. So basically, he's saying that they were trying to find somewhere to park. Nolan them. He was like, "Hey, yo, bro, you can park right there, bro. Come over here and join us, bro. Let's get lit. Park right over there, bro. Yeah, bro."
From the time they showed up until now, going back to it, 20 minutes before they left, I was with them. That's who I was with. I spent all day with them. Minus the morning time before they got out there, but from the time they got out there to the time they went back in, I was with them. That was Those are my friends, man. Those are my guys.
Yeah, I want to get a few more details.
I'm sorry about that.
I know that. Yeah, go ahead. I know that you were all over the news because there was a perceived fight. People, this is the thing that gets me. And
Oh, he go to fight, gang. He go to fight.
When I saw the video that they put out on the internet claiming that Nolan was saying, "Give me my effing phone back," the coach came out. Nolan's coach came out and said immediately he knew it wasn't Nolan's voice. Obviously, it wasn't Nolan's voice because you were the one that was
me yelling. Yeah.
in there yelling. You got into an altercation with somebody. What happened after that? Like, put me in your place where the fight is over. Whatever happened, happened. Nolan is somewhere. You're somewhere. You're hanging out. And when was the last time that you saw Nolan before you left Horn Island?
So, after the fight, I didn't stay on Horn Island much longer. So the objective, I was really upset. So with you hear me yelling, my uncle had told me to get on the boat and wouldn't let me back off the boat. Obviously, I was really mad and I wanted to fight, wanted to get off. Wasn't smart, man. And so I was on the boat, I'm yelling, and shortly after that, I left the island. I left probably 30 to 45 minutes after I got into a fight. We started to pack up and left because I was so upset. As Javon mentions, that they were ready to get me back to land because I wasn't really mad. I was genuinely really mad. But the last time I saw Nolan, I was walking to the boat. This was before the fight. It's me and my old lady. We had just got out of a group of people. Nolan was walking towards Wyatt's boat. I was walking in the opposite direction towards my boat. And I dabbed Nolan up. I made a slick comment about something, actually about the girl that he was with. I made a slick comment to him. I was joking around, and I kept going.
Oh, so he said he made a slick comment to Katie, the girl that he was with. Remember, he was carrying Katie through the water, so he felt Katie. So it sounded like to me, Nolan was trying to hit Katie. And was it this nigga right here cop blocking? They say he said something slick. Hey boy, she found it in the mug, boy. Hey boy, you got you a dime right there, but Katie, boy, you trying to get laid tonight, boy? You trying to get? You know what? This YouTube friendly. Let me get back to it. Let me get back to it. Let go. Let's get back to it.
And not even 10 minutes after that is when I got into a fight.
Oh, wait. Just like I just fucking said. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Just like I just said. Oh, so after you made them smart ass remarks about his old lady or the girl he was trying to hit, you got in a fight 10 minutes after? Who did he get in the fight with though? He didn't fight. He didn't get in the fight with Nolan though, right? Yeah, this Tristan, whatever his fucking name is, Tristan, whatever his name is. He thinks he tough and slick. Told you. Yeah. Why in the world would you say that about your homeboy, old girl he trying to miss? I don't know if Katie was Nolan's girlfriend or somebody he was trying to hit. Either way, nigga, why would you make them comments either way though? Well, I see. Who know what did he say? Cause we don't even know what he said. Okay, he said we don't know what he said. You right. We don't know what he said. You right. We don't know what he said. You right. We don't know what he said, but get what he just said though. He said he made some slick comments. He said slick comments. He made slick comments about the girl that Nolan was talking to. I'm just saying what he fucking saying, bro. I ain't trying to solve no fucking case. I'm breaking down what this nigga saying out of his own fucking mouth. He's saying all this shit out of his mouth. Not me. He's saying this shit. What the hell you talking about? Damn, bro. Some of y'all fucking Riri, bro. I'm only bro. I'm only rephrasing what he's saying out of his mouth. This is what this nigga saying. You know what I'm saying? He talking out his fucking mouth right there with the hat to the back like a baseball player. Come on, gang. Stop playing with me, man.
Last thing I told Nolan was, "All right, buddy, I love you. See you later." And I'm glad I said it. I had been under the influence a little bit, and that's probably why I did say it at the time, just, getting all lovey-dovey, but I'm at peace I said it. I'm glad I said it. That was my last encounter with Nolan.
What? What? Hold up. Wait. Man, you know what? My bad, y'all. I had to, something had to, I had to do something real quick. My fault, gang.
Just telling him I love
My
him.
fault.
Did you have any?
I appreciate
So
y'all
you
for still
leave
being
the
here.
Did you have
I had-
any encounters or association
Something had to
with
have
these
him, gang.
phones, the keys?
Say him. Any pictures of him and Nolan together? That's what they want to know.
I did not. So what I know Warren started. I got my first phone call from Warren
Hold up,
at
wait.
about 9:20.
About 9:20.
Answer
You say
it.
about 9:20, y'all.
I was asleep. I'd been on the boat all day. I didn't feel like going to party anymore. I went to bed. So I got my first phone call about 9:20, and I didn't wake up again until a little after 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And that was to my brother coming in the room being like, hey, Warren's trying to get a hold of you. You need to answer the phone. They're looking for Nolan. And I'm half awake, and I pick up the phone. And by this time, nobody had came to the house to grab anything. And Warren gets on the phone, and he's just like, hey, man, he was like, hey, have you talked to Nolan? Anything else? I was like, no, I haven't talked to him, man. He was with that girl last time I knew. And he was like, okay. He was like, man, we can't get a hold of him. We don't know where he's at. I was like, man, it's Nolan. He's probably just out somewhere with that girl. Like, get a hold of the girl, you'll probably find Nolan. It's no big deal. And he was like, all right. He was like, but we're starting to freak out. We're getting on the phone with Coast Guard. I was okay. And at that time, he had already talked to his mom, Nolan's mom. And he was getting on the phone with the Coast Guard. And I'd called. I need to be specific about this. I did not call Warren's phone. I called another one of our buddies' phone, and it was on speakerphone. They were together. I was talking on my other buddy's phone, talking to Warren.
Uh-huh.
He was dialing Coast Guard because he hung up the phone and was like, hey, this is them, bye, and hung up the phone. And that was the last time I talked to him until the next morning when we all decided, well, when I woke up about 7 o'clock that morning, we had all decided that we were going to go out on the boat and go look for Nolan. Wyatt had already had his boat still in the water. We took that boat out. It was
what day are we talking?
That's Sunday morning.
Sunday morning on the 6th, the 5th?
So it was Saturday the 4th was the 4th of July. The 5th was Sunday. We were on the water from 9:45 to 11:50, 12 o'clock era, about lunchtime. While we were on the water, we talked to a rescue guy, and he told us to get off the water. And they kind of had the island and the water under control. That's the professionals, man.
Yeah.
They told us to get on social media and find out any information we can. And by that time, we had already talked to a good amount of people out there. So it just made sense. So we went back in and we concluded our search and started the search on socials and started sharing everything we could and try to get a hold of anybody that could have talked to Nolan, that Nolan possibly would have reached out to. And that led into the night. It led all night long. I didn't sleep at all Sunday. Monday, I was up at 5 a.m. I was putting fuel in our boat at 6. I got told that they were taking out.
Somebody sound like that if with old boy at all. This somebody said, "Whoa, drunk kids know what time it is." Oh, they said, "Hold on, wait 1 minute." Elsa said, "So left without Nolan, got all the way back home, realized he wasn't with them on the way home. Missed me with the BS story." Shaking my head. Hey, shout out to Aunt Elsa. Aunt Elsa is on they ad. Man, turn the bit up for me, man. It's sad. Let's go. Okay, I hear y'all. I see y'all comments.
And I went to McDonald's.
He went to Mickey D's.
After I left.
He went to Mickey D's, got him a damn Big Mac and a 4-piece. Yeah, he went and got him a Big Mac and a 4-piece and a medium fry. Yeah. Medium Coke. Yeah. Shout out to Tristan. Yeah. He let you know.
McDonald's that his body was found. So it was already a plan that we were going and searching and trying to do everything we possibly can. And that's all I wanted to do. Is I wasn't there to help him out in his last minutes, but now I feel like as a friend and as one of my guys, man, I do everything in my power to help now. And that's why I have reached out to the family. I have donated to the family, and I have giving them just your normal death gifts, I would say, as you pay your respects. And
but on that nigga, What is that in the chat? What is that in the chat? Hit that like and sub button for me, gang. I appreciate everybody up in there bit. Let your chain swing.
Do you think Benjamin Crump being involved in this case made it better or worse?
It's 100,000 times % worse. Because why on the Tuesday after where has your civil rights been broken? Where is it?
Hey, appreciate that gift, gang.
You brought Benjamin Crump to stir up a community that's already tight knit. Yeah, we might not be best friends with everybody, but I promise, if you're talking about Ocean Springs as a whole, Ocean Springs is going to have Ocean Springs back, 110%. We back each other. Everybody I've seen, we back each other. And for them to push this narrative and really push it, just shows me is like you have no idea dealing with or who you're messing with. And I think he's taking the grieving parents and manipulating and turning this and making it sound all bad, because nothing's like that at all. No.
Have you got death threats? Or, because I know that the other young men that I spoke to about this, especially the white young men, they're getting all kind of death threats. They're being accused of killing Nolan. Did you get the same backlash and threats that some of those guys have gotten?
Yes, I've gotten the death threats per se, but I've also gotten the threats along the lines of where it's like I've been cast out of the black community. I've been called white. I've been called a wetback. All these things.
Is Tristan white, black, or what, guys? Let me know in the chat. Is Tristan white or black? Y'all let me know. I don't know. Y'all let me know.
Photos of
y'all let me know y'all opinion. I don't want y'all to say I'm racist.
Told that she's the devil. She's just looking for the time to kill you. You need to be careful and blah blah blah. And it's like, man, if y'all want to know the story, the only people that's showed up for me in my whole life has been my white side of my family. So for y'all to sit there and drag their name and drag me down,
neither,
and I'm supposed to be one of y'all, and you're supposed to have my back, and we're supposed to be in this together, and it's really eye-opening.
Did it shock you that it turned this way? Meaning that you see everything happen. Nolan was your friend. From all of
why he standing there looking like that though?
Nolan was the life of the party.
I'm chill.
Nolan. He gets along with
I'm letting it play, guy. I ain't gonna
cool.
keep talking.
Everybody feels like
y'all know me. Y'all talk shit.
Made him feel like everybody's his best friend, right? I mean, everybody felt connected to Nolan. Were you shocked that it turned like this? I mean, where this community was tight knit, Nolan's friend group was tight. He ends up losing his life in an unfortunate situation, which nobody knows exactly what happened. Did it shock you that it turned into some racial thing?
Yes, racial. I do agree. Now, it going famous or going viral, that part didn't shock me. Thinking about it and being honest, like it's not a surprise because
you want to go viral. Look, he brought that up. You see how he brought that up? I think this nigga right here want to go viral. You see him? Yeah, going viral. With your fucking hat turned to the fucking back, man. I should smack that motherfucker. I see. That's what I'm saying. I can't. That's why we can't never get past no topic because I'm always going left and shit. All right, let's go. Because
everybody didn't love Nolan, especially around here. Everybody loved Nolan. So for people to repost that, they know Nolan. I mean, they know he did not have one hateful thing in his heart. And racism, no.
Hey, appreciate that gift, Snooty. Appreciate that, guy. That was
a complete shock from his mom and from his stepdad. Like, that's a shock. That's an utter shock because it's like, first off, I'm not gonna word this. Nolan wasn't fully black.
How you gonna fucking tell those people what their child was? You shut your ass up, 88. You ever heard? Y'all ever saw the movie Gridiron Gang? When he said, "Shut your ass up, 88." Yeah, shut your ass up, 88. Let's go, gang.
Nolan has a little bit of Asian in him. You don't hear that though. You don't. So to turn it as like somebody's harping down on Nolan because of the color of his skin, you don't know us. You don't know our community. It's crazy that people are just running with a lie. And it's so easy for people to believe it from the outside, looking into Mississippi's history, per se. But it's like, you're looking at history. Let's go to each state's history. I bet they're not the best with black people. Like, people change. You learn history so you don't repeat it. Everybody knows that.
What's the crazy lie that you've seen floating around there about this situation? I know there's a lot of mysterious things, but like, what to you, what's the craziest thing that you've heard somebody say about this?
That my buddy in the photo was his lover. That was wild. That's been the utmost craziest, because it's like, what? Like, where you get that from? I mean, also the lies of just how racist Mississippi is, or how racist the coast is, and Ocean Springs, and no, you don't know this, man. Like, you have no idea. And what I thought was crazy lie from the beginning was he's the only black person on the boat. He's the only black person on the island. No, not at all. Like, not once. Like, where'd you get this background information from?
How many people are on that island from your vantage point?
On the 4th of July?
Yeah.
Thousands? 13 miles? Like, I mean, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of boats that are carrying minimum 4 to 8, 9 people. Like, I'm talking like on the lower end, man. We're talking about smaller vessels here. Man, if I had to take a rough estimate in my area of the island that I was in, 400, 500 people easy.
You say 500 people there. 500 people easy.
Estimate, about 400 to 500 people.
And nobody saw nothing.
In our group, in the group of, I would say, young adults that were in the group of Nolan Wells, 100.
Oh, 100.
150, 200 people.
200 people are Nolan. And 500 total there.
Nolan went out with
nobody saw nothing.
4 white boys.
Let's go.
And they took him to a deserted island, and he was allegedly last seen with a girl, and they just abandoned him. What do you say to that?
I appreciate that guild, Tracy. Y'all like that bit up. What does super chat say? I don't see no super chat. Y'all said y'all love me.
Including myself.
Hold on, wait. What that nigga said on Baby Boy? What that nigga said on Baby Boy? Y'all said y'all love me. Y'all said I can stay here. Bought me all this fly gear, video games. Kim, I love you. Nah, man. I bet. I
really trust behind the helm of a boat that Nolan knew.
Bet.
That he knew. That he could go talk to. Even if he was left, there was tons and tons of people out there. There was 10 boats that camped out at Horn Island. I know a boat that didn't leave Horn Island until 8 o'clock that night.
Hey, salute everybody in that bit though, for real though. All gangs aside though.
Nobody would have ever seen.
I salute all y'all though.
Take that back. Nobody would have ever left somebody on Horn Island. That's a place that everybody loves to go and hang out. That's their peace. Nobody wants to see anybody out there, especially in the boating community. And I can speak on that, like, genuinely. I grew up in it. That's absurd. It's absurd.
So can you help me understand the fight a little better? Because I interviewed Warren, who's your friend, and he had made mention that his brother was involved in the fight. So can you explain who actually started fighting, and were you fighting his brother, or were you fighting somebody else? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, and I can see now, especially, it's all been blown out of proportion. But so originally, I'll go back a couple steps. Original, me and my girlfriend, we were I wouldn't even call it an argument. She was upset that I lost the lid to her koozie. I dropped it in the water. Generally speaking, that's how it started. And I dropped her lid, her new koozie in the water, and so she started let me hear it, and basically told me I was paying for it, and she was really upset with me and mad about it, and I needed to kind of sober up a little bit. And so we're walking back, and during that time, this guy that I'm not friends with, I know of him. I don't know him. I didn't even recognize him when I got in an original fight. He butted himself into my
Nah, Andrew,
conversation
you ain't missed a lot.
and
We,
basically was telling me
we only been in here like
how I needed
almost
to
2
handle
hours.
or
That's
address
all.
the
We
situation
just been in here almost
with
2
my
hours.
girlfriend. And man, we weren't even yelling at each other. We weren't arguing. It was more along the lines of, I literally told her, I was like, man, I just want a beer. And she was like, well, go get one, blah, blah, blah. Well, when I said that, she had ducked her head underwater, and he had walked up, and he told me that I needed to watch how I talked to my girlfriend. And I looked at him, and I told him, I was like, this has nothing to do with you. We're good. This has nothing to do with you. And he
Nah,
sat there,
you good, Andrew.
and he was
You
like,
good,
well, I'm
Andrew.
going
I
to
was
tell
trying to be
you,
funny
I better
for
not hear
real.
it again. And I looked at him, and I was like, you
Hit the like and
need
sub
to
and
excuse
notification bell
yourself
as
from the
well,
situation.
so you won't
And
miss
after
out
I
on
came out,
now a
he
minute.
He threw the first punch. And
Wait. I'm talking over the
we went back and forth.
wait, yeah. We talking over the fight. We talking over the fight that happened. Wait. He said somebody threw the first punch, hit him with the. All right, wait. Let's go back, cause we don't want to miss nothing. We don't want to keep talking over the. Wait. Let's go. Let's turn this bit up right quick. With his hat, what Booster said. I got my hat to the back like a baseball player. Shout out to Booster, man. Let's go.
Man, we weren't even yelling at each other. We weren't arguing. It was more along the lines of, I literally told her, I was like, man, I just want a beer. And she was like, well, go get one, blah, blah, blah. Well, when I said that, she had ducked her head underwater, and he had walked up, and he told me that I needed to watch how I talked to my girlfriend. And I looked at him, and I told him, I was like, this has nothing to do with you. We're good. This has nothing to do with you. And he sat there, and he was like, well, I'm going to tell you, I better not hear it again. And I looked at him, and I was like, you need to excuse yourself from the situation. And after I came out, he swung. He threw the first punch. And we went back and forth. I remember at one point in time, I look over and I see my uncle, and my uncle's yelling at me to get in the boat. I stopped fighting. As soon as me and him made eye contact, I got in the boat, I'm sorry. And I listened to my uncle.
And what was Warren's brother involvement in this?
And so I was getting there. So when I'm on the boat and they're trying to cool me down, I'm trying to get back off the boat. So I see the crowd forming up on the island. Well, my little brother and Carter are like really good friends, like best friends, I would say. He's over at our house all the time. Carter heard him still talking crap as he's getting out of the water, and I'm on the boat, and the situation's like done and over with, right? Well, he sees him talking crap, so Carter gets up, and more along the lines of defending me. And for what? He was like, well, if you got a problem with Tristan, we can handle it right here.
So what's the racial breakup of these people that are involved? So the guy that you fought was
white. I'm the only black guy involved in this whole entire thing.
Yeah.
And at all. Like, I mean, I don't know. Carter is white. The dude I got in a fight with is white.
Carter? Oh, you talking about, like Rush Hour? Remember when he would hang on to the bamboo? Carter! All right, come on.
I was
See,
the only black guy
be talking
involved with
about,
this.
man.
My girlfriend's white. My uncle's white. There was no other black guy involved. And I know Ben Crump tried to run with a story saying I was Nolan. Well, it was like, nice try, but there was another black guy on the island, so now your whole narrative needs to change again.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, but that was Carter's involvement, and that was kind of it. Like, after the fight, man, I remember getting off the boat. I got off the boat, and I walked up to the island, and I was telling people, I was like, hey, like, I just need to cool off, like, let me be. This is after everything is dispersed. There was no crowd anymore when I walked off the boat. And I was like, I'm letting it be. Well, again, my uncle yelled at me, and I was like, I don't care what you're doing. Get back on the boat. We're leaving. So I got back on the boat, and we left shortly after that.
And well, at least I know you from the interviews that you've done. Some of the other boys haven't spoken out at all.
Yeah.
You've had a chance to use your voice to put the truth out there. You did an interview with, I think, ABC. And you also did an interview with the Rolling Stones.
That was my first interview, with Rolling Stone.
The first interview was Rolling Stones, then ABC?
And then ABC, yes.
Now,
Damn.
from what...
For a person not to be on the boat, you done did like 3 or 4 or 5 damn interviews. For a person not being on the fucking boat. I don't know. I. You know what? Let's get back to it, gang. Throw all that away. What I say, throw all that shit away. All right, let's go. Let's get back to it. Throw that away. Throw that shit
told
away.
me before this interview is that the Rolling Stones gave you a very fair interview. Seemed like the young lady who interviewed you articulated very clearly what you told her with no fluff, no nothing added.
And she cared. She really did care, and she made sure that what she was telling was the complete truth behind everything, with me, with my uncle, and then also fact checking on her side as being in media. And it all aligned, man. And when they came out with that, it was really genuine. When I felt that, it brought me to tears because it was like, that's the truth. That's exactly how it needed to be worded. And I appreciated her. I appreciated her a lot. And we took her out to Horn Island this morning to do another little bit. But she's done well, and that's the truth. Her story is nothing but the truth.
Now, ABC, on the other hand, did they treat you fairly, or how did they go?
So, I don't want to say they treated me unfairly. The quotes that he used in the article, he did ask me for my permission on it. And I gave it to him to an extent. I changed up some stuff, and that he initially didn't change when he came out with it. And then the voice recording, that's really what gets me, because that's what the main people are listening to, right? They're not going in and reading in depth in the article and really seeing everything. They're just going off of, well, what's on TV, because people don't like to read these days. But how they made that and cut a lot sounded horrible. Sounded bad. I didn't like it. I didn't like that side of it, but it already aired, so what was I going to do? Really?
And at one point, I could have sworn you said that you didn't feel comfortable doing the interview on camera.
Yes.
And did you do that because you didn't want to be visibly voted on television, or what? How did that?
So the side of that, and I didn't want to be on camera for 2 main reasons. I never wanted to do an interview and get famous. I never wanted any attention, per se, famous attention. I don't care about the negative side of it. I'm doing what I think is right. I never wanted any positive attention, let's say. All I wanted to be is for my guys to know that I had their back, and I got Nolan's back. And I didn't want the investigation especially on social media side, I guess, and with Ben Crump and their legal team, to go down the wrong path at all. That was my sole purpose, is to tell the truth and to clear up lies. When I talked to ABC, they wanted to do an in-person interview, and I told them no. I told them no because I'm getting death threats, and I don't like him. It is what it is. I'm not putting myself out there.
Hey, how in the world he would get death threats if he wasn't on the boat? So they were trying to unalive him, and he wasn't on the boat, or was he on the boat? Y'all let me know in my chat right now. Was Tristan on the boat or no? Y'all let me know. Let's go.
More than I need to.
We still gonna crank it up some more. Don't worry about it.
For somebody to watch.
Y'all know me. I got a lot of tricks up my sleeve now.
And I told him,
crank it up
if you
again
want to
after
do an
this.
article, it's okay. I'll talk, and you can do the article on that side of it. I never originally wanted to go on TV, period. He convinced me into only doing
Oh man, wait. Tristan said he never wanted to go on TV. Period. So why is you doing an interview with Stop Six? I mean, Officer Tatum. Officer Tatum. My fault. My fault, officer. My fault. Let's go.
Now I regret, and I wish I would have just sat in front of a camera so you can visibly see the cuts. But they manipulated that interview pretty well. They made it sound a lot worse. And I know for a fact, most of that interview, you can't understand me because I was in tears the entire time talking about it. When he asked me about Nolan's death, and he put it at, if you listen to it carefully, he cuts it and not just say die. Nobody wants to see him die. Don't talk like that, man. That's not what I said. I did say died during at one point in our interview, but I said we didn't want to see his life being taken from us. Period. They didn't put that. They twisted some things around, and they almost made a different narrative to where it's like now people are coming out and lying, and it's like, and no. And I
was wondering if you were gonna. I remember I was like, I could have sworn he said he didn't want to be on camera, and they put your picture all over the news. I mean, how did you feel about that? Was that something that you were okay with them doing that, or?
I kind of accepted it. I accepted it because I gave Rolling Stone permission to do it. So I know that's where they probably got that original photo of me and him standing next to each other.
But still, that's kind of weird that you tell them, oh, I don't want to, even if you gave you the permission of Rolling Stones, I don't want to be on camera, and they put your picture up there on camera anyway.
I agree. It is weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's odd, but I generally speaking, man, like, I'm worried about my family's safety, but I have no regrets in what I've done and what I've said. Not one.
He said, yeah, no regrets. What he done and what he said. What that tell you? Man, I wanted the fame. Is y'all crazy? Tristan is letting you know right now, nigga, I wanted the motherfucking fame. I'm glad the spotlight is on us. What is you talking about? Especially me. You see how I wear my hat? He letting you know. That boy letting you know, bro. Come on, man. Y'all better start reading between the lines. Y'all sitting back just listening to my dub. Man, come on, man. Let's go.
I sleep better at night now that I've spoken up, and I felt like I've done my part of the good, and I'm willing to help any other time if anything else pops up that I can't help with. And I genuinely just want the truth to be heard about it all, and it kills me and it breaks my heart that my best friends are going through this. Like, this is at home. This isn't something I'm just watching through a screen, listening to you talk about it or listening to somebody else talk about it. I'm living this. I'm getting the calls from my buddies crying, asking me how I'm not scared out of my
They
life.
weren't calling. They weren't threatening you, not Tristan. Them folk were not threatening you. I mean, threatening you. Stop it. Them folk were not threatening you. Stop it. Hey, look here, gang. I gotta go.
Okay dealing with.
We're gonna play this out. Dang, I want to stay in. You know what? I gotta stay. I gotta stay in here. I gotta stay in here because we gotta talk about this. So I can't go. I can't even.
So one thing that
I can't
kind of
even.
stood out to me.
Hold on. Wait.
There was a big contradiction on television.
Wait, gang.
Was
Wait.
said.
I'm finna get on this nigga. I'm on this nigga ass, boy, for real. Wait.
His best friend.
Wait, right quick, gang. How long they gonna laugh right here? How long the rest of they gonna laugh? Man, y'all, I gotta do something right quick. Boy, I'm on this nigga, boy, I'm cooking. I'm in the bit trying to. I'm in here. I'm in the kitchen. What the freak? Hey, shout out that dude that be on TikTok. What his name is? Shout out my boy that be on TikTok. Devontae so. Yeah. What the freak? For real. Straight up. What the freak? I'm gonna let that play out. Gang. I got it down. Do something right quick. We're gonna let the rest of the interview play out. Then we finna. Hey, y'all gonna have to need to stay because this interview that's finna come up. Oh man, this is finna be crazy. This interview right here I'm finna show after this. Oh yeah, this finna be crazy. We finna really break it down with the Nolan Well case. Yeah, it's savage. Stop it. Come on, let's listen to the rest of it right
on
quick.
television that if she don't even know you and she don't know who you are and you're definitely not, at least is what she alluded to, you're definitely not his best friend. So what's the truth in that and how did that affect you? How did that make you feel?
So yeah, so she originally touched and she said that we weren't childhood best friends, and she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I moved to Ocean Springs in ninth grade. I met Nolan in ninth grade, as I've stated in my Rolling Stone interview. Um, Nolan was my best friend though. She can believe it or not, that was my best friend. No, me and her never had a sit down in depth conversation like me and you're having now. It was always, hey, how are you doing? I've been to her house multiple times. I've taken Nolan to school multiple times. I've left my vehicle at her house multiple times, even including the new vehicle I just has gotten left at her house
Hold up, guys.
for 2 days. And I just got it. I haven't even had it for 4 months. My vehicle before that stayed at her house for almost a week. Me and her son went on trips together. We went to Florida for spring break together. You don't know me? I'm in all these homecoming prom photos.
He's saying, why in the world his
As
mama
my
saying,
friend.
you know me?
Me and
You
Nolan
don't
are
know
sitting next
me.
to each other. You don't know me.
Oh, you heard what he said?
Nolan's last name
Hey, y'all, hold up,
is
y'all.
Wells.
Y'all turn the video up for me. Y'all got to turn the video up for me. Hold up, wait, y'all. Wait. Let's go back a little bit so people make sure we got enough room.
Man, that's my. If you listen to it carefully, he cuts it and I just say die. Nobody want to see him die. Don't talk like that, man. That's not what I said. I did say died during at one point in our interview, but I said we didn't want to see his life being taken from us. Period. They didn't put that.
Hold up, guys. We got another interview we finna really get into.
They almost made a different narrative to where it's like now people were coming out and lying, and it's like, and I guess
I was wondering if you were gonna. I remember I was like, I could have sworn he said he didn't want to be on camera, and they put your picture all over the news. I mean, how did you feel about that? Was that something that you were okay with them doing that, or?
I kind of accepted it. I accepted it because I gave Rolling Stone permission to do it. So I know that's where they probably got that original photo of me and him standing next to each other.
But still, that's kind of weird that you tell them, I don't want to, even if you gave you the permission of Rolling Stones, you go, I don't want to be on camera. And they put your picture up there on camera anyway.
I agree with you. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's odd, but generally speaking, man, like, I'm worried about my family's safety, but I have no regrets in what I've done and what I've said. Not one. I sleep better at night now that I've spoken up and I felt like I've done my part of the good and I'm willing to help any other time if anything else pops up that I can't help with. And I genuinely just want the truth to be heard about it all, and it kills me and it breaks my heart that my best friends are going through this. Like, this is at home. This isn't something I'm just watching through a screen, listening to you talk about it or listening to somebody else talk about it. I'm living this. I'm getting the calls from my buddies crying, asking me how I'm not scared out of my mind. How am I okay dealing with all this?
So one thing that kind of stood out to me, there was a big contradiction on television, was you said in your interview that you were really, really good friends with Nolan, his best friend. Nolan's mother said on television that as if she don't even know you and she don't know who you are and you're definitely not, at least is what she alluded to, you're definitely not his best friend. So what's the truth in that and how did that affect you? How did that make you feel?
So yeah, so she originally touched and she said that we weren't childhood best friends. And she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I moved to Ocean Springs in ninth grade. I met Nolan in ninth grade, as I've stated in my Rolling Stone interview. Nolan was my best friend though. She can believe it or not, that was my best friend. No, me and her never had a sit down in depth conversation like me and you're having now. It was always, hey, how are you doing? I've been to her house multiple times. I've taken Nolan to school multiple times. I've left my vehicle at her house multiple times, even including the new vehicle I just got has gotten left at her house for 2 days. And I just got it. I haven't even had it for 4 months. My vehicle before that stayed at her house for almost a week. Me and her son went on trips together. We went to Florida for spring break together. You don't know me? I'm in all these homecoming and prom photos as our whole friend group. Me and Nolan are standing next to each other. You don't know me. Nolan's last name is Wells. My last name at one point in time was Walker. We were by each other in the alphabet when we graduated. Man, that's mind-boggling. It's insane. Me and Nolan have multiple classes together. Me and Nolan has always stayed tight. Nolan has always known that he could call me whatever. And like I've mentioned, like I got a new phone number 2 months ago. Nolan was the only friend that had my phone number out of the friend group, and I still call them my best friends. But we communicate on other social medias. But it's like Nolan called me on the day to meet up with me on the 4th out there. But we weren't good friends. We weren't close friends. And when I say best friend, man, I don't want to take away anybody how close they were to Nolan. But when I think of a best friend, I think of Nolan. Somebody I can call, somebody that I've stayed up and I've cried to. That was one of my best friends, generally speaking. She might not think it. That's okay. Me and Nolan knows where we stand with each other. And period, and Nolan knows that.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. You know, with interviewing with me, right? You know, we came out here to Mississippi. We just wanted to give the boys a voice, give you guys a voice. And I'd say all the other outlets that you could have spoken to, why do you feel that you wanted to talk to me tonight?
Honestly, I'm a big fan. I know when I look at news articles, big news articles, obviously, and then I know you talk on them, I make sure I watch the full thread of videos. I think our morals align alike, and when we spoke off camera, like it didn't seem like you were out here like another news reporter that just wanted the next big story. Like you just said, it's like you genuinely wanted us to have a platform to be able to speak and to be able to tell the truth, and that's what I like. And I know I don't know, talking to Warren and knowing Miss Katie and being close to them and them trusting you was like, okay, I can sit down, I can have this conversation, and we can go through it, and we can have the interview on camera, and people can see me, really, I guess you could say, and talk about it and whatnot.
I appreciate that. I really do. And my last question, you know, with all this stuff going on, and you knew Nolan very well, what do you think how Nolan would feel about how this all has transpired with Benjamin Crumb, with, you know, the statements from his mom, with the accusations against you and his other friends? You know, how would you think he would address this or feel about this?
Well, I know people like these would turn over in his grave. If Nolan could dig himself out of his grave right now, he would. No doubt. Nolan would be livid as an understatement. Nolan would never want anything pursued this way at all. I think he would be really upset with his parents about how they went about the situation. I think he generally would. I don't think he wouldn't support it. I know that for 110%. I know he wouldn't support any of it. I think he would want the truth and he would search for answers, but he wouldn't go about it like this. He wouldn't let us get dogged out like this. If Nolan could have spoke up, he would have already said something about our friend group and saying, yo, y'all are on the wrong path. Generally speaking, he would be mad. Like, he would be mad. And I don't understand how people don't see that and how people are just okay with even some of his I guess you could say, other best friends, man, how they were coming out and how they're acting behind it. It's like, man, Nolan was never like that. Nolan was an aggressive, threatening person. Don't get me wrong, Nolan would defend himself if he needed to defend himself. Nolan was loving and kind. Nolan was the furthest thing from a fight. Like, furthest thing from a fight. And I remember personally, I was in a heated argument and Nolan comes up cracking a joke and I'm like, bro, it's not even worth it. Like, come on. And it's like, that just shows his character wouldn't be like this. I know he wouldn't want people chanting at his funeral. I know that for a fact. I know nobody would want me or the rest of our friends to get dragged through like this. I know he would want all of us to feel comfortable going to that funeral, and all of us did it because we're scared, and that says a lot. That says a lot. We're scared to go in our own town to who we call our best friend. We're all over his socials, man. Like, I don't know how you're discrediting and thinking that we could have hurt him. We could have known somebody that hurt him. Because like I told everybody, I would put myself in whatever position he was in 100 times before I let him pass away. And I mean that. I genuinely mean that. That dude, he was so loving and so kind. It was just wild. It's crazy. It's wild and it's heartbreaking.
Well, I appreciate you having the courage, man, to come down here and talk to us, give us, your point of view. And I say this, like I said to Warren, man, my whole objective is that, man, I was watching an injustice happen before my eyes. And an injustice meaning that the other side wasn't presented. And people that don't live here came into this town and shook it up, brought racism in it. And based on everybody's statement that I hear about Nolan, is that they didn't represent what he stood for.
No.
And they bastardized his character, and in my opinion, this is my opinion, to make money and build a GoFundMe instead of trying to actually get to the bottom of what happened to him. And none of this have I seen any of the activists pursue what actually happened. Somebody could have seen something, and instead they're going after dead ends simply because of race, simply because of convenience, instead of pursuing any other lead or any other notion of somebody knowing what happened to Nolan. So I thank you for coming out here, man. It took a lot of courage, putting your face out there, putting your name out there, putting the statements out there. Some people are going to be mad at you. But I'll tell you, like I told Warren and all other boys, is that I got your back, man. You tell them the truth.
I appreciate that.
You being a good man, doing what's right. I got your back, man. And I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
This woman in Kansas City searched her name and found $6.1 million in unclaimed money. Like, what?
Wait, you don't know about unclaimed money? This is something everybody should know about. The government may owe you money, and you can go and search your name on binverified.com.
Go on.
Okay, let's say you have money left over from an old job, a closed bank account, tax refund, pensions, inheritance, security deposit. Each year, millions of dollars like this go unclaimed.
Wow, you need to tell me how I could check if there's anything for me.
Just go to binverified.com.
So Warren, I'm going to ask you some very pointed questions. I mean, just straight out. The first thing I want to ask you is, did you kill Nolan? All right, Warren, we had a chance to get to know each other over the last, 2 days, went out to Horn Island. So I've had an opportunity to talk to you about a few things, and the things that you've told me have literally blown my mind. But the world haven't had a chance yet to hear your story. to hear Nolan's story through you, through his friend. And it's not just you, it's a bunch of y'all. But, you know, some of the other guys were afraid because of the threats and the violence that's been threatened against their lives and all of the above. But you decided that you wanted to take this bold step and give a statement and, you know, get your side out here. And I want to start at the very beginning of all of this and ask you, what was your relationship like with Nolan? Who was he to you?
Nolan, I could describe Nolan in a million ways. I mean, Nolan was not just a best friend of me, but he was a brother. I grew up through elementary, middle school, high school, and even our freshman year of college. You know, we talked on the phone all the time. We were really close friends, and I mean, Nolan was like a brother to me. And Nolan lit up every room he walked in. He always had a smile on his face. He always had something good to say. I've never seen Nolan get in an argument with somebody and say bad things about someone. You know, there's a lot of people that talk crap nowadays, and Nolan was never that person. Sweetest soul ever. And I mean, I had a great relationship with Nolan. I've never got in an argument with Nolan. We were super close, and I've never said or will ever have anything bad to say about Nolan Wells.
Yeah, and you guys, you said you kind of grew up together. Did you know his mom, or how was that? Because I saw in the media where it appears that she may have said, at least I saw in part, that she said as if she didn't know any of you guys.
Right. Well, Nolan a lot of the times was at like my house and at my buddy's house. We never went to Nolan's house and hung out. I mean, and my friend group's very, very tight knit. I mean, we hang out every day when we're back home from school. In high school, we hung out most weekdays and every day on the weekend. And I mean, we were never at Nolan's house, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But I met his father, and I mean, in 8th grade, Nolan and I like got really close. It was his COVID year, and we were in class all year long together, me and a couple of my buddies. And Nolan and I just got super tight because we'd get a Waffle House once a week together, eat, and I mean, we were just super, super close. But his dad would swing by Waffle House, you know, and like, you know, hang out around us, but never, you know, I was never around Nolan's parents a lot. But I mean, that didn't change our relationship any. Nolan and I were still just as close, and he was just as close with my friends as, you know, anyone else. So.
And walk me through the day, 4th of July, where you guys were all going out.
Right.
This seems like something that I would assume that may have occurred more than just this year.
Yeah, of course.
Was it something that you guys did more than just this year? It's a two-part question. I want to know, is it something that you guys typically did together, that you hang out often in this fashion? And then I want you to then walk me through 4th of July this year when the incident happened.
Okay. You know, being from the Gulf Coast, there's a boating and fishing is very, very popular. The 4th of July, every year, my friends and I, or my family and I, are out on the water. I mean, that's the one day is guaranteed everybody's going out. And that's a known thing. Everybody's trying to get a ride out to Horn Island, or, you know, people go to Ship Island, but most of everybody from Ocean Springs and the Gulf Coast go to Horn Island. And, you know, we went last year. Nolan was on the boat with me last year, and he was, I mean, this was a common thing. My friends go on the boat when we're home. Very, very common. That's what we like to do. My friends like to fish also, and like to go on the boat. Not just fishing, but like to go on the boat, like to go on sunset cruises, like to do it all, you know, on the water, you know. And I mean, Nolan loved to do that too. I mean, he was not like he was just like everyone else in our friend group. He loved to go on the water and, you know, have a good time with the guys, and that's what we did a lot. But 4th of July, everybody was out there. Like I said, like Nolan was always trying to go on the boat, trying to go out there with us, and he was always welcome to come. Nolan was always out there with us, and but started 4th of July, you know, my buddies and I had talked about this week's upcoming. You know, everybody's very, very excited for the 4th of July from down here. Like it's a big thing.
It's a big deal.
Very, very big deal. And I mean, I actually stayed with Nolan that night at my buddy's house, and I woke up at my buddy's house, and we went to McDonald's, got food. Nolan was not with me, and I went and got breakfast. I had my buddy's boat hooked up to my truck, and well, first I ran to my house, then I went to McDonald's and came back, and the boat was already hooked up to my truck. My buddy Wyatt and I went, and with my buddy Wilson, we went, topped the boat off, loaded it down with ice, and just got everything ready. Then Wyatt went and put his smaller boat in the water, which is the Palm Beach. He's an 18-foot Palm Beach, and I drove the boat from Fort Bayou Boat Launch to my buddy's grandparents' house, and that's where we all planned to meet up that day. And
you say we all, who you talking about? You, Nolan, and how many people are going to meet you guys there?
we had roughly 20 to 30 people coming on 3 separate boats with us. And so we were all following each other out there as one big group. You know, it wasn't just me and Nolan and a couple other of my buddies. There was 20 or 30 people spread out where we all met at the dock before, and then we departed to go to Horn Island. It wasn't just a couple of us. There were so many people, we had to split up between 3 boats, and we all left and all got there at the same time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's clear, because the statements that are out there made it appear that it was just you, Nolan, and probably 2 or 3 other guys, and y'all are the only ones that went out to this island.
And that's completely incorrect. I mean, Horn Island on the 4th of July is the most popular day to be on the water throughout the entire Gulf Coast. I mean, everybody and their mom is on the water on 4th of July, you know. There's no telling. I mean, roughly probably 2 to 3, maybe even 4,000 people out there. There were boats lined up off the island. I mean, there was 3 rows of boats all the way until my vision ended, until I could see of people there was 1 row of boats, and then there was another row of boats, and then there was a 3rd row of boats. Yeah. I mean, there was people lined up all up and down the island to where, I mean, who knows? I mean, and that wasn't just, we were parked on the north side, on the west tip. It wasn't just there. I mean, there's tons of people packed out on the south side and on the east end and in the middle of the island. But just where we were, I mean, there was easily 1,000 people. It wasn't just us.
Let's go back a little bit. I want to go back to you guys at the dock, getting on the boat. You're saying there's multiple people, probably 20 or 30 people getting on 3 boats.
Right.
What boat were you on, and what boat was Nolan on?
Nolan was on Wyatt's 22 Triton. On the way out, I went with my buddy Bart, because we had a lot of friends from college coming down, and I called Bart that morning. I was like, hey, man, can you take your boat out? And he was like, yeah, well, my dad's decided not to go, and I'll take the boat, and I'll take you and your friends. Of course, I mean, he's a buddy of mine. And so Bart pulled up at the dock, and, I mean, I rode out there with Bart and a lot of the girls that go to college with my friends and I, and Nolan rode out on the Triton, and then we had a Palm Beach, 18 Palm Beach. There was 4 guys on that. There was like 8 people on the Triton, and then there was 8 or 9 people on the Triton, and then there was the rest of the group, which was probably ranged from maybe 10 to 15 or 16 people on my buddy's tide line, which is 24 tide line.
And so you guys get on, and I know a little bit more than the audience do, because we went out there a little earlier, because I wanted to see exactly what the drive was like, what the dock was like, how far it is out there.
Of course.
But I want you to tell, the audience, like, what was this trip like? How was the waters? Did you guys do anything in between the time you rode and the time you get to the island? Was there music? Is it like a big party? Like, what is that?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously music's blasting. It's 4th of July, man. I mean, everybody's really excited. And, I mean, we had a lot of people loaded down, so obviously our biggest, we're just trying to make sure everybody, gets out there safe. And so, I mean, on the way out there, it was pretty calm. I think it was blowing like 3 or 4 knots. I mean, the waters were clear. It was a great day to be on the water. Sunshine, not cloudy at all. And, I mean, it was a great day to be out there on 4th of July. And so, I mean, we followed each other out, and, I mean, it was calm. It was calm. On the way back, it was a little more rough. but it was not anything all my buddies' boats couldn't handle, or like it wasn't like we were getting really beat up or anything. I mean, it was pretty calm.
And so you guys get out there. I'm assuming that you line the boats up because I'm envisioning the picture of getting out there and there's hundreds of boats. There's thousands of people.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just you guys on a deserted island.
Of course not.
A few people. This is thousands of people out there.
Right.
And there's a lot of people doing what? What does it look like when you first pull up?
I pull up, and we pulled up at 10:30. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, early afternoon. I mean, it wasn't. But 10:30 is, it's still pretty early in the day. And when we got there was already 3 rows of boats lined up all the way, like I said, until I could see. And
you're talking, when you say all you can see, you're speaking about miles.
Yeah.
Of boat. When we went out there earlier, or not earlier today, but when we went out there, the island is massive.
Correct.
I mean, it's just several miles long.
Roughly 10 to 12 miles. I mean, it's.
So you think that the boats were stretching from one end to the next, or just a small area of about a mile or less than a mile of boats?
Well, I mean, I think there was boats all the way around the entire island, but I think some spots were more popular than others. Like the West Tip is usually very, very crowded on the 4th of July, and everybody knows that. So that's where a lot of people park because they want to be around other people. And the East End's a little more. There's not as many people, but there's still a lot of boats out there. I mean, it's not like no one. I mean, every area of Port Island is covered, 100%.
Can we be loud enough? There's a new chapter, all right? Gotta have faith. Welcome to the pit. Let's go sip some lunch.
Follow your dreams.
See what happens when you listen to me?
To be honest, sometimes I actually have no idea what's going on until I open Monday.com. And boom, everything's there. Statuses, timelines, budgets, all in one clear dashboard. And if I want to send something up the chain, 2 clicks, and it's a beautiful report. You're welcome. And now that AI is basically baked into everything we do, I've got even more clarity. It shows me which projects actually align to our yearly goals, flags issues before they eat up time and budget. It's like having a built-in me in every project. It even recommends the right team members for each task. And I know it sounds like you have to have a PhD to use AI, but with Monday.com, it couldn't be easier. I mean, hands down, I have no idea how I kept it all together before.
Start your free trial today at Monday.com, the first work platform you'll love to use.
Wow. So you get out there, y'all jump out. What do? When I say jump out, you obviously not just sitting on the boat. The island is there. Like, what exactly are people doing there? Like, are you spending more time in the water, on the island, in the boat? Like, how is that look out there?
I mean, everybody, as soon as you get there, I mean, there's people on boats, grabbing drinks and, food, whatever else stuff. Like, I mean, everybody is fully prepared for the 4th of July. They bring, all the drinks and food that they need.
I gotta go there.
I mean,
bro.
they're prepared
Everybody
for
gone.